2, 1, let's go live. And we are live. Hello guys, welcome to New Society. And today we are talking about Brahmastra. It's a new Indian fantasy epic adventure film. If you haven't seen the film, please stop watching because it's a spoiler discussion. And today we are joined by Manoj and Sahil and our special guest Geeky Shiki Abhineet.
Thank you so much for inviting me as usual. And we are talking about Brahmastra Part 1, Shiva.
Yeah, part 1 Shiva. Sorry,
not
clarification.
Part 2. Actually, we can discuss about Part 2 as well.
We can dive into all of the things until we have time.
Yeah. But is Geeky Shiki really a guest for us?
Like he's like a special person who's part of our IGS.
Thank you so much.
But today he's guest. We have to respect him.
Otherwise, you don't need to.
Hey, we have one more guest, guys. Just joined. Welcome, Mr. Keshav.
Hey,
who, by the way, is part of the film.
What?
He'll tell you what.
Yeah.
He's actually.
I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
He's actually he worked on this film, and we'll get to that. But before, guys, let us know how's the audio, how's the video, everyone audible, all of that. And Rajat को shout out दे दो यार, Abhineet.
Hi Rajat. ये मेरे बहुत से subscriber हैं, मेरे को हमेशा देखते हैं. Hi Rajat. Hello Rajat.
Anshika Singh is here. Says hello Sahil. All right, Sahil is here
hello,
with his background. And guys, Keshav, if you don't know, he's from All Things Cinema Podcast. Check out his channel. I've put the. Did I put a link? Let me check. I did.
The link will be put now.
But until then, Keshav, share with the public. How were you associated with the film?
Okay, so hello everyone on the panel as well as in the audience. So I am a full-time musician and then a part-time YouTuber. So I was involved in the background score of Brahmastra. I worked for Preetham. I was the backing vocal coordinator and the vocalist on all the Sanskrit shlokas.
Why did you let them allow love story?
No, I was only on the background score, not the songs. So all the Sanskrit chants and shlok that you hear all throughout the film.
The background.
Yeah, so I was
the best part of the film.
Yeah, actually, that was like really, really amazing.
Yeah, so I was a part of that whole Indian choir thing, heading it, and so my first such experience on a huge scale film like that. And
congratulations, Keshav.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah, as Nona said, that was the best part of the
music
movie.
was like sensational. Man.
Yeah,
music was.
Yeah, while I was working,
I keep the music a little above VFX also.
Oh, that's a huge compliment, actually.
Definitely.
So, when we were working on the score a few weeks before the release, so I had a good feeling that this is like not just visually it's new for Indian audiences, but audio wise as well, like because these kind of scores, very, very Western classical orchestral based score, they are not as common in Bollywood. So I knew that even score wise people are in for something new.
Do you think they'll release the original soundtrack? Because for a lot of Indian movies they don't do that.
Yeah,
even though it's like
they don't. I mean,
I know it's not your call, like
yeah,
but
first of all, 5th October they are I think around the Shera they're releasing all the songs.
Yeah, all then by 5th October.
Yeah.
They'll be releasing the entire album.
Because there were a lot of songs which are not officially out, like the audio is not out, but they were in the film.
Yeah.
So they'll be releasing that, maybe based on that, on the response on that, maybe they can take a call, because this is a norm in South movies a lot. Like they release the whole OST, like especially Anirudh does this a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you see Vikram and Master and all these films, the OST jukebox is there.
True.
Let's see.
Same for Hridayam also. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so it's great actually to have someone who has worked on the film on the panel. So he'll have all the good things to say. But we have people here who will be very harsh on the film. I'm not one of them, but Anshika is like above VFX. Sahil, you serious? It's
Yeah,
everyone's
based on
everyone's choice.
Nona's,
Yes,
based
See,
on
केशव
what Nona's.
स्वयं
My
ही तू अग्नि है
स्वयं ही
ये
तू
वाला
अग्नि
पूरा
है
आपने
भाई.
किया right?
Trailer from the trailer that the moment that drops, right? So him to Agni, I'm lost.
Right.
Swayami to that's a soul voice, I think.
Mhm.
I think Javed Ali या किसी ने तो गाया है, वो मुझे exactly याद नहीं आ रहा है. But all the backings that you hear, like the choir and the harmonies and everything, so we were involved in that. Like
Amazing was, yeah,
like
amazing was.
especially in the beginning, that whole Sharukh Khan sequence.
Oh, okay.
So all and I was fortunate enough that I saw this footage months ago when we were working.
Oh.
Like I knew Sharukh was there.
So you were like Andrew Garfield.
So like, was it like fully
And,
done footage or like
no,
just
no.
previous kind of?
At that time, I could see a lot of green screen and all those kind of things.
Okay.
Like eventually, when we got near the release, they kept replacing the footage. So I knew that even VFX wise, visually, it's looking pretty good. So I was sure of the music department and the visual department. Other than that, of course, I didn't watch the whole film in one go
Right.
like that. So I had no idea that the dialogues or the screenplay would be this.
Keshav, what was your reaction on like you worked so much hard on this music? You knew that the music will be like one of the highlight of the movie, and then you heard Love Story. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I didn't really mind Love Story. I think to each his own. I mean, they just tried something different or something they felt convinced about. And because I also write songs, right? So I have so many times used English words together, like in a proper Hindi or even an Urdu song. Like I've put English words like that. So it's really a very creative call, and some people can like it, some can't. So on the whole, I think it sort of went under the carpet after that initial burst of trolling, because on the whole, Kesari
It grew actually. It grew
song.
on people's mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, plus the song in itself, like as a whole, it's a beautiful song, right? So
Yeah, specifically the cinematography or like the entire Banaras, like it's
although
so
the placement of
visually
the
good.
song is a little bit problematic in the movie, which
Yeah, I think once
Yeah.
people saw the movie, they're like, "That's the last of our problems." Like,
Okay, I have one question.
Also, I believe even Ayan mentioned that he did this like he wanted to have this whole English thing, and after watching the movie, you realize that even the dialogues
Yeah.
had those English tone. So you kind of were okay with how like when the song came, you expected that a word like Love Story would be in the song, because even all the dialogues and all the things what Alia and Rami were talking to each other about, like their language was like that. I think that's why people were okay with it. But just the song, like when it released at that time, people had issues because they were like listening to just a normal romantic Bollywood
No,
song.
and I think now that we are connecting these dots, that the dialogues
Yeah.
also have a lot of English thing. But if you watched Amitabh Bhattacharya's interview on Film Companion, I think with Rohini, there he did mention that we had written another draft where I think there was some alternative to that as well. But they all felt convinced with Love Story and went ahead with it. So,
I'll say that that was the best thing to do, because it just everyone was talking about it. That's like
Yeah.
free publicity. Everyone
that's
making
true.
joke,
Yeah.
everyone making their own version. That's free publicity. Everyone knows about this song now. Everyone knows that's a movie coming. So I
yeah,
think
it was
worked in the favor.
trending on #1 for so long. Like I
Yeah.
vividly remember. So Spotify Pakistan, okay, so they post weekly top songs, and for so many weeks Kesaria was a top song in Pakistan. So what else do you want? Like in other countries also it's trending.
Yeah.
Pakistan,
Okay.
that too, where the Indian films are not even releasing.
Yeah.
Okay. Before it becomes a Q&A with Keshav, I think you should do a Q&A, buddy, on your channel.
Well, I invited you, but you were busy.
But okay,
backfired.
let's
Immediately
come
backfired.
to the.
Nona regretted everything he said.
I just want to say this stream got delayed because I was doing something only Abhineet knows now.
He was
And the people of the group
watching-
knows.
Nice.
He was doing something like which we
Yeah.
cannot talk about. on the
Nona
screen.
doing Nona things.
Okay, that came out very wrong. Okay, so basically, let's come to the film. Now, I want to know first, how many times have you seen the film? Twice.
Once.
I have seen once. I plan to go on 23rd again to spend $75.
I'm taking my parents
Yeah.
that day.
Oh.
Let's see.
Okay.
Recliner. My goal will be recliner. But okay, let's come to the film. Now, I'll just quickly share my thoughts and then all of you give your overview. First time I went, I really enjoyed it. I had issues with it. And then when I came out, I made my review and I saw everyone else's review and I'm like, this is very different response of what I felt watching it. And suddenly even I felt maybe it was love story was really cringe. You know, suddenly I was started forming thoughts. Maybe I didn't notice or maybe it was really that bad. And then when I went again, I enjoyed it more. All the issues I had got resolved in the second watching. So we'll get into that, but before that, overview.
Did your bank balance get credited by some amount? As some of your comments are accusing you.
Yeah, I'm being accused of that already.
You know,
so.
when I made a video on Brahmastra, I received 2-3 comments which were saying like Dharma का YouTuber आ गया, Dharma production का YouTuber, Bollywood का YouTuber आ गया. मैंने कहा यार ना मुझे ने पे किया, अपने पैसे दे के बचा. काश, seriously काश.
At least ticket के ही पैसे दे देते.
यार 1000 रुपए के टिकट. Obviously वो पैसा कमाएगी.
Okay, we start with Abhinit first.
Okay, so when I was watching it, I was not like expecting much because the trailer gives you vibe that the dialogues and the story is like going to be weak. It felt like that. Like the trailer, the dialogues were so quick. कौन हो तुम? क्या हो तुम? It felt like where's Gamora? Who's Gamora?
Yeah.
It felt like that. Okay. So when I was watching the movie, the first half it kind of felt like forced. Like अमीर हो तुम या गरीब हो? ये क्या है? It's not making sense. The dialogues felt like very quick. It felt like that Ayan wanted to put a lot of things in the movie, but they were running short on time. So they asked the actors to quickly say out the dialogue. Like, कौन हो तुम? क्या हो तुम? And at times it feels like the editing is quite choppy. Like it's very quick editing. Because आपको dialogues जल्दी complete करने तो थोड़ा जैसे मैंने कोई आपसे कोई question, if I've asked you a question, you will take a pause, you will take fraction of a second, then you will reply. But there was no gap, there was no void between two dialogues. Very quick. And again, the placement of the song Kesariya was a bit odd, and Isha felt so weird. Wherever you will go, I'll follow. Are you Vodafone? Like, what was that? Like, he's going on a hunt. He may die. Don't worry. My name means Par. Yeah. But I'll follow.
Go ahead.
So, Nona, if you want a girlfriend, you have to find someone whose name has a reference to your name. Anyway, so first half was like quite disappointing for me. Okay. But second half, eventually, I started getting into the film. Second, like because आपको first part ही ऐसा था कि आप धीरे-धीरे आप जानना चाहोगे exactly आगे होने क्या वाला है. You want to know where are all the pieces of Brahmastra, what's exactly going to happen. So still, I was feeling a bit speculated if the movie is going to be good overall or not. But when it came to the ending, the ending, the climax part, I thought that it's going to be like Infinity War. Like they all are going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then the background music, all thanks to Keshav. And it felt so good. The last moment, the entire VFX, like ऐसा लगा मुझे movie में कि all the energy, all the content, all the VFX, everything they have put in the last 5-10 minutes of the movie. And for me, that was the part which saved the entire movie. And when they ended the movie on Deva, so like it's running in your mind. So just because the last 10-15 minutes, I was like, okay, so this was a good movie. So everything, boycott Bollywood, the cringe dialogues, the choppy editing, for a few seconds, for a few minutes, for a few hours, it was all out of my mind. Just because the last part was so good. So that was my view on this movie.
All right, Manoj.
Oh, I'm going next. Okay. I actually it's good because what Avneet said about the last 5 minutes, about how action-packed it was and how they tried to bring the entire story together. I got this feeling that Ayan Mukerji he decided the ending and then he was backpedaling. Because that's the feeling I got. He was like, we have to get to this point. So everything else needs to be rushed so that the movie comes to this point. So that's why I felt like the love story was like the weakest ever, which I've seen in like Bollywood is known for love stories, man. Like, forget Bollywood. Ayan Mukerji's last film, Ye Jawani Diwani, that also had a pretty good love story where it didn't like just happen instantly. There were like moments it took its time for the love story to actually deliver. Obviously that was just a love story, so they could take that time. But still, that emotions, the feelings that he was able to put in Ye Jawani Diwani, that was completely missing here because it didn't feel, you never felt like these two are characters who like each other. That feeling never came. It was just the characters saying these things, but the emotions were never felt by the audience. And that bothered me so much because you could have built the love story throughout the film. Like it could have come in the climax of the film, you could have actually had them actually, the love story reach that sort of the end part. I get whatever you get what I'm saying. Like instead of them just in the first 15-20 minutes just being like, okay, we both are into each other, we both love each other, I'll be going on a trip, like a trip with you. I mean, she just met him like just once, and like then he tells his entire backstory in the first night itself. First night of meeting, first night, that didn't sound right. First night of meeting itself, it's his entire backstory. It didn't feel organic at all. It felt very choppy over there. So I felt like they could have used Alia's character a lot better. They should have given her more reason for her to actually travel with him, go with him. It should have been more organic. It should have not been something where she just decides to go off with a stranger that she just met like one night back and go on these crazy adventures. Like, see, you can make whatever big movies you want, but the emotions needs to be grounded to humanity. That's how always it works. Like you can take a movie like you take Triple R, you take even Minal Murli, like they made that superhero VFX movie. All of that worked, or even Harry Potter. Like anything you take, the emotions are grounded. That's why it works. And for me, the emotions of this film didn't work for me. That's my overall assumption. Even though I still enjoyed it when the movie ended, I was still looking forward to the next part. But the foundation for me is not very strong. That's what I feel.
Sahil?
Yeah, I think I agree to Manoj's point of view a lot. But yeah, I'll be honest. I think in this entire call, I'm gonna talk a lot bad about the movie. So I'm just gonna like start with the good parts so that I'm just like gonna take that away.
Sahil, your
So
bank.
definitely,
But Sahil, just think about your bank balance. Think
I
about
don't
the
care
amount
about
that'll
it.
get credited.
I'll tell you about the bank thing also. I have a comment on that as well. So first, okay, if you want me to start on that, I'm
No, no,
okay
no,
if
no,
you
no. Go
want
ahead, guys. I was
later.
just joking, man.
No. I'll tell you. So the movie was released around 40 to 50 minutes away from my place. It was the only cinema hall which had the movie, and it I actually in total spent like $100, $100 actually on this movie. So that
100.
is the reason why I had
79.
like I want
100 rupees. Oh my god.
हाँ तो 8,000 रुपए लग गए. So that is the reason why I wanted
That's
a
our
lot from
YouTube
this movie.
revenue, I think.
Yeah.
Of 6
So
months.
I wanted a lot from this movie because the price of the ticket was expensive, and also like the cab both his were pretty expensive. So that's why I had expectations on the movie. From now starting with the good part, definitely the music was one of the highlights for me for the movie in the movie, and also the VFX which everyone is talking about anyway. Answering Anshika's question about why the music was even, I keep it better than the VFX also. If you look at any VFX scene in the movie, all of them were like elevated by the music. All of them, starting from the SRK one, when he becomes the Vanarasta and all that, like when he goes up in the sky, the music is one of the best part of that scene. That is the reason why you are into that scene. Obviously, it's SRK, Divana Sir, the VFX looks good, but the music is why it is keeping you inside the scene. And obviously, it was one of the better moments of the movie as we went ahead. But the music, I think the music part of the SRK scene and the last, like the climax thing, were too good for the entire movie. Also, I believe even with the Nadia scene, I'm sorry, but I believe that would have been more like impactful as it was for the SRK scene. But the VFX was able to like cover up in that scene. But I believe the music, that's the reason I keep the music above the VFX. So yeah, VFX is good, music is good. acting of SRK and Sharukh and Amitabh is good. Now I just start with the bad parts. The reason why Abhinav said that he liked the last part of the movie was very opposite for me. I did not like the last part of the movie, and that's what just Manoj also said. When the movie ended, they were talking about, hey, they were able to save the world and everyone else because of the love, and I did not see the love at all in the movie.
Yeah,
Where was the love? Where was the love? So when the movie was like getting over, I was happy with the whole VFX, all the action scenes, and everything. But Amitabh's narration goes like, "Hey, Dev was able to like save everyone." I'm sorry,
प्यार की
not Dev.
शक्ति
Shiva was
ने
able to save
ब्रह्मास्त्र
because
को भी
yeah,
ऊपर ला
exactly. And my question was, I literally screamed in the cinema hall, "Where was the love? Where was the love story?" And that is and that's the reason I had a very very bad ending of the experience of my movie. I was actually enjoying the movie a lot throughout the movie. I was okay with the dialogues as well until that last scene came in which they claimed that this movie or this whole story works or the whole world building works because of this love, and I was not at all convinced with the love they showed. There was no good like they didn't even have a good meet cute movement for Alia and Ranbir's character. At least they could have had a good meet cute movement. I believe this is something which Bollywood does the best in the world. Like there's no competition. I'm sorry, by Bollywood I actually want to say the entire Indian cinema. We do a lot. Like all of our movies have good meet cute scenes, and I don't get it. Like there's no excuse that hey the VFX is good, the music is good, the direction is good, but we were just a little short in the direction and in the story. You cannot fail in these two parts of any movie actually if you're making it in India. Also, I believe these two things are something which are not dialogues, but at least the story or the love story or or the script or the screenplay. It is something which is made way before the VFX and all come in the picture. So I believe your base was so weak that you try to compensate on it with the VFX and the music. So I felt that was a very bad decision on the makers' point. That I think they knew from to some extent that they are not making a good case for the story and all that. But and that's why they were like pushing too much on the VFX and everything. But I believe VFX and these things are like something which can elevate a movie, but it cannot be the whole base of the movie. It cannot be the soul of the movie. Coming to Manoj's point of view that you have to have the characters a little human, like very human to them. Another example is Star Wars. Even that is like plays in the galaxy far far away, and they are basically aliens to us. But still, their stories are very human, and these people are actually humans, right? So they should be very like, much more human than anyone else. And I think that's why even Marvel movies also work. They at the end of the day they are about humans. Like you might like them, you might not like them, but they have a human touch to them, and that's why people are okay to go again and again and watch those movies. And obviously, the VFX is great, like everything is good. Not in She-Hulk, but in the movies which came before that. So I think that's the reason I believe there is no excuse that you can have a bad story or a bad dialogues in a movie, in at least an Indian movie which is known for these two things. So yeah, that's what my opinion is.
Okay. Just want to say welcome, Harneet. Look who showed up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Harneet is in the
I just came to say
Brahmastra
hi. I have
climax's
not
place.
actually seen the movie.
Oh, what?
Spoiler
And,
alert.
and listening to Sahil's comments, I think I should not actually see the movie.
No, Anita. Okay. I'm gonna make one more point. It was a great experience. It was definitely a great experience. Everyone
In theaters.
who watches movies or has interest in cinema and all that, they should definitely go put their money into this movie. This deserves your money, but I believe after giving that money, you
But
have
not
the
$100.
full right to yeah, not $100. But I believe after watching that movie, after spending those 1,000 rupees or 75 rupees, you have the right to comment on it, and you should have a say into this because this apparently was supposed to like kickstart the Bollywood thing. It was supposed to be a comeback for Bollywood. So it deserves the money, but it also deserves the criticism.
Okay. I think that makes sense. This is like the future of fantasy cinema in Indian cinema. So I think if you want
Yeah.
that to happen in India, support the movie because it's not as bad as
Yeah.
some are claiming that it's unwatchable
Yes.
or
Yes.
it's just
Yeah.
that. So okay. Harneet has
Yeah,
not seen the
even
movie,
I
so
read. I'm sorry. I actually read one tweet also. I think that's the most accurate review of the movie. This movie is not as great as people are claiming it to be. Some people are claiming it to be, and it is not as bad as people are claiming it to be. So it is like somewhere in the middle. I think
Right.
that's the most accurate review of the movie.
okay. So Harneet is anything to say or
We
I
didn't
think
get
that should be the tagline for the all of Bollywood, right?
what?
Like beach mein kahin
Not
pe.
really.
we didn't get
Yeah,
Keshav's
I
thoughts,
just
right?
came to say
Yeah.
I just came to say
Oh.
like I was watching your stream and I thought like this is from someone who has not seen the movie and most of its image is negative only. Like even from social media and from people who have seen the movie around. The basically I think the expectation was too high for them or something, and now my expectation has like no base. If I'm going to watch the movie, I'm going with an open mind and with no expectations. So maybe my point of view when I see it might be something different, right?
I don't think so, Harneet.
Can I add
Knowing
one line
you-
over here?
Yeah.
So I may get a lot of abuses for this, but I feel like even I said that on my Instagram post. The VFX and the CGI of Brahmastra is better than Marvel Phase 4.
True.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I
It
can
is
see.
not. Nobody will
See,
say no to that.
you cannot
Argument.
compare it because it's apple and oranges, but you can see a clear vision of the VFX. Like, I recently was showing my father Thor 4, and 20 minutes in, he's like, I'm like, yeah, let's not watch it. It's horrible. It looks horrible. Like there's sequences. I'm like, what to see in this? This is the mess. This is not a 200 million budget movie. You cannot call this a good visual movie that's horrible. And
Right.
I'm like, this is what they've done. And compared to what Brahmastra has done, Brahmastra is an amazing work. You can see in every
Like
visual.
if we like it's made on the budget of 400 crores, right? If we convert it
Yeah.
into dollars, then it's
$50,
somewhere around
50,
50 million
yeah.
dollars, 50, 60. On the
Yeah.
budget of $50 million, Joker was made, right?
Right.
Like $50 million is very less when it compares to like Hollywood films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the budget of Thor and
200 million.
She-Hulk,
4
even
times,
She-Hulk,
yeah.
if we talk about,
Shiva
they have
has a-
a lot of budget. Still, they're making this kind of thing. Whereas our Indian movie on the
But
budget of $50 million,
in
including
that-
the fees of the actors.
Yeah, in that 50,
Yeah.
we don't know how much is VFX actually. Because a lot
Yeah,
goes
exactly.
in the
That's what I'm saying.
pre-production
Including the
and
fees
all.
of the actors
And
and
because the
everything.
film was so long,
Yeah.
you have to pay extra money to so many people because you have to give
And
them
then
salaries.
the additional shoots were happening because
Yeah.
a lot delays
Yeah,
happening
COVID
because
happened.
of COVID.
So much happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, time is the biggest expense, right? I mean, like for 8 years, like if this movie was made in like maybe in 2 or 3 years, they could have saved a lot
Yeah,
of money. Also.
definitely. But they spend a lot of R&D also because you have to create
Yeah.
effects in softwares that now when he does
Yeah.
this movie, it will be quick, faster, and everything. But
True.
let's come
Yeah.
to Keshav,
Yes. The guy, the one. No,
who's very happy because he has done a great job.
Well,
Yeah, you've done a great job. Yeah.
no, I mean, actually, in hundreds of musicians were involved in this, so I was not alone, and so I'll try to be as neutral as possible and not sound like this is a conflict of interest or anything.
or maybe you are working for Dharma Productions. You are Dharma Productions.
Part two is also
No,
coming.
no. I mean, I work for Preetham, so he works
right.
for Dharma. But anyway, so first of all, condolences to Sahil for spending $100 on that. I mean, in that amount of money, I can take 100 people this Friday, and all of them can watch this film. The movie. So when I watched it, when I went to watch it last Friday, I had already seen a few scenes when we were working on that, so I had a vague idea, like what's what I am in for, because a lot of people who even after trailer, people people had some expectations, but they still weren't very sure that what's waiting for them. But I had a vague idea. So first of all, I think the biggest issue, like everybody's saying, the dialogues. Where I can cut them some slack is this was probably shot in around 2016, 17, that, 5 years ago, right? So maybe at the time they would have thought, these things might work, or especially that the Sharukh Khan sequence where the dialogues seem to be, kid centric, like, for a very young audience. So maybe I just feel that if given a chance, if Ayan Mukerji was making this film in 2022, post pandemic, where the audiences have grown so much after consuming so much content from the West and from South India as well, I am sure he would never approve of these kind of dialogues, right? Because there is a huge difference between the films that were being made in Bollywood in 2017 and now. So I can cut them some slack in the departments they have lacked, because if you see the overall vision, like, it's a trilogy, first of all. So we can't conclude everything on one film, because I'm sure they already have things planned out for the next two films, or even have a proper story arc for many of these characters which are left unanswered for now. So I won't still come to a conclusion in terms of storylines or characters or anything, but the trivial things which mattered in this film, which could have been corrected, like I touched upon the dialogue thing, or the love story, which didn't feel organic, right? Even doesn't matter how much damage control now they can do in the next two parts. The first meeting is the first meeting. You can't go back on
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like, you can't do a flashback to resurrect it. Like, and especially when Ayan Mukerji did it so well in Wake Up Sid and Ye Jawani, because everything felt so organic there. He allowed the two characters to build that sort of bond between them, and here it was. And I just feel so sorry about Alia's parents. I mean, the father just kept sleeping, and she had,
Not father,
gone-
grandfather.
grandfather.
Grandfather,
Yeah.
not
See,
Dada.
it was such a forgettable detail that I even forgot that was the grandfather, and Nona has seen it twice. So
She's
probably
actually
remembered
also
it.
a orphan, I guess, if I'm not wrong.
Is she?
Yeah, because when the kids, when he wake up in the morning and the kids tell him that he doesn't have, doesn't have parents, he lives with his grandfather in London.
Okay, but still, I mean, the point is, like, there was no mention of his family after
Yeah.
that point. Were they not concerned?
Sister.
Where did she vanish? All of
Someone
those
else
things.
vanished.
She had a sister, right? She had a sister.
Actually,
right?
Alia was like Bunny from Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, because she wanted to fly, she wanted to run.
Yeah.
She didn't care about her life.
No, but at least there, Bunny comes back to his father. They had that moment between
So maybe
them.
she'll return in second part.
Oh my God.
No, but and another thing was we talked about the family. What about those friends? The DJ Shiva's friends in the beginning. I mean,
even
Slow
they
Cheetah,
vanished.
Slow Cheetah, if that's his
Yeah.
Instagram ID, right?
they didn't.
He's a husband of Shweta, that Tripathi.
Yeah, I know. He
Mirzapur
was
actress.
in Gully Boy also, no?
Yeah, he was in Gully Boy as well, yeah.
So these characters didn't serve any purpose. They didn't add any substance or value to it. And I can also put those old age people in this category who were there in that,
Oh, the Brahmanj group, they had no purpose.
Yeah.
The only part
Oh,
of
yeah.
Dimple Kapadia was like just to fly the helicopter.
Yeah, they didn't even
Why was
fight in
he
the
even
end.
in the
right?
film? What was
Maybe
the
they
purpose?
will have a role to play in coming parts, but that was one of my issues with the film, that some of the characters just coming in, going without really adding anything to the film, and only taking so much of runtime, because this was a long movie. Although I didn't feel
Yeah.
bored at any point, like genuinely, I was kept entertained for the entirety of the film, even with bad dialogues. But I mean, I said this in my review as well on my channel, that the future of this film, the future of Brahmansh and Brahmastra, both, they do not depend on Shiva or Isha or anybody. It depends on us, the moviegoers.
Yeah.
because I said this when the film came last week. So now, touch wood, the film has done well, and hopefully there will be a part 2. But at the
Because
time,
you have to work on the part 2. That's what it was.
well, hopefully, but
Ayan is just watching the stream and he's like calling Preetham. He's like, who is this guy?
मुझे केशव के घर में चाहिए
इसको कल बुलाओ ऑफिस बुलाओ इसको
इसको रिटेलर पे लो. But the thing is, see, what I thought was so I had a word with Nona and Ashmita when Lal Singh Chadda came, that doesn't matter how these people troll on Twitter, doesn't matter the boycott trend. If the film has something new or fresh to offer, people will still go and watch it. So
Yeah, exact. Can I add one thing over here? Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I was about to just say this line, like the movies in Bollywood are not flopping or not doing bad because of boycott. No. The movies are actually bad.
Yeah.
That nobody cares, and even the marketing is not being done on that level which will excite the people just to wake up from their beds and go to watch this movie first day for sure, and like any show.
Yeah.
Like there was no purpose. Like a lot of films that have happened last 1 year that made us go to watch that film. But this was one particular thing that, first of all, the VFX and everything apart from that, the marketing was done in such a way that people were actually excited. The SRK thing was actually leaked, right? Before it.
Yeah.
The Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire was
Yeah.
actually happened. Similarly for SRK, it actually happened.
I wonder
They're,
if
like,
it was
pushing
intentional.
Obviously, it was intentional.
No, but I think Karan Johar also said that. Like, I remember a long time back, 1 year back, something, he also said that SRK has a cameo on the movie. I mean, the picture was not leaked, but he had actually said
I think SRK is spending 2022 only in cameos. He was in Lal Singh Chadda as well.
Yeah, how's Lal Singh Chadda? I haven't watched the movie. I have watched Forrest Gump, obviously, but
I think that's a separate stream, right?
You watch
Like,
it
just one
whenever it
question.
comes out. Watch it. It's not horrible. That's again as Brahmastra. It's not like horror. I think someone just met.
by the way.
You what?
I loved Lal
Okay,
Singh Chadda.
same here.
Okay.
But,
I thought he was like, I think it's horrible.
Is it-
I thought he
is
was
it-
saying that.
Is it because Sahil you spent like lesser money
$1,000?
on that, like $10?
Okay, Tanmay says Lal Singh Chadda was great movie. It was never meant for mass audience, but irrespective of that, whatever.
Probably.
Okay, let's come to Brahmastra.
Just one
Oh, I
more
need to
thing.
watch it.
Before I was about to finish. I feel that even when Avengers was in its formative years, they didn't make the most extraordinary films as they do today. So they also took their sweet time, and people allowed them that time because they saw some potential in that. So same way, I think we have to be patient with this because, and I'm not just saying because I've worked on this film and I want more work. I mean,
like that is obviously one important thing.
no, not really. But if you just see the director's
After
past
the
record,
stream, Keshav is going to call Ayan. I did not mean any of that thing.
I'm talking about Ayan. If you see his past record, he has done really good stuff.
Yeah.
Even though this sample size is just 2 films before this.
Yeah.
So but those 2 films were enough for us to have an insight into the director's mind that this guy knows his shit. So I think we should allow him a chance to fail or succeed, but for that this trilogy has to get completed and then we should come to a judgment.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is
with
weakest
the-
film out of the 3? Do you guys think this is the weakest film out of the 3 for him? Like so far,
For me, if I give you my personal opinion, okay, I'll explain what I exactly mean. You concluded. The last 2 films before Brahmastra, obviously, it's coming of age movies.
Right.
Wake Up Sid and this Ye Jawani. It was more. These 2 movies are more able to connect with the youth, not the kids. I had this expectation like Brahmastra will be something like that only. It will be able to connect with the youth because Ayan himself is a Marvel fan, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
So youth will be able to connect it to it. Teenagers, 20s, 30s people. But whereas this, it was oversimplified for the kids, 5-10 years of age.
Right.
So for me,
I
How
think
should
there
I-
is no comparison, in a way, because this is he spent
it's not
like,
comparison, but the thing is
Yeah.
like Ayan has a different path for direction of the movies, like Christopher Nolan.
As Manoj asked, like if you compare all 3 films, is this the weakest? So that way, I'm saying I don't think this is comparable in a way.
But you can still rank it, right? Any filmmaker's films, you can always say which is the strongest and which is the
Like
weakest.
strongest will be Wake Up Set for me. Like Wake Up Set is one of my all-time favorite movies. Second and third, I don't want to I don't know how to put it together, but
You can
overall, I
have
think
both
Brahmastra
of
will be
them.
second for me. Third will be Ye Jawani
You
Diwani.
can have a
I
tie
know
on second.
yeah, actually we can tie on second as well. Yeah.
Okay, I think let's come back to this film. I just want to say,
Okay,
you know,
one more. I have one question for all of you. Do you think we will get a sequel to this movie and another sequel to that movie?
Okay,
And if we do, in how many years?
Before we
That'll be the
come to
last
that.
question, I
Yeah,
think.
before we come to that. Yeah, I just want to say that, you know, I consider this movie, you know, not like a Marvel film or a first Iron Man movie for Marvel. No, I consider this a Star Wars for what it was for Hollywood. This film is for what Bollywood. A time where nothing like this has been created. There was a Ravan, which I personally felt it was okay. It was not as bad as people claimed. It could have worked, but this film is that. And if this, you know, works, and I'm so happy that it's, you know, the money is coming in not as what is expected of it, but at least a lot of money is coming and people are going for it and, you know, accepting it. That's the biggest thing, because then only we'll have more such things in future, you know. And just because of that, if you want such things to happen in Bollywood in India, you know, Rajamouli and, you know, South are doing great stuff, but that's very different than this. Bahubali's biggest issue is that it's all about Bahubali. You remove Prabhas, it collapses. You know, the world has nothing else to offer because it is not interesting anymore without the main actor and the
But
character.
I think even here, why people are connecting to it is it's also has a lot to do with the fact that this is this is into Hindu mythology, right? Like if this was not Hindu mythology and this was something like, for example, you said Ravan, right? So it was not a bad film actually, and if you go 12 years ago, whenever it came, you know, for that
10
time,
years, yeah.
for that time, the what they tried out at the time, I think it was
And
pretty
that was
cool,
also
but
related to Hindu mythology with Ravan and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
I think
they-
Shahrukh Khan
it was,
himself
but-
said that it's like a modern version of Ramayana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this one is, you know, a
Ramayana.
bit more deep rooted into
Yeah,
Indian
true.
culture, so probably that's why. And see, RRR had that whole Ram sequence at the end, you know, when he comes
Yeah.
as a Rama avatar. So people really it resonated with Indian audiences and
Right,
around the world as well after all. So here I think that this is one of the biggest reasons why this is working. If it were not for Hindu mythology and if it was something random with the same quality of visual effects, I don't think it would have worked.
But I think
like
for that, Indian culture was the reason it had so much attraction, right? Because that was before it came, I was talking about that he's using something from Indian culture. It's not creating out of because you don't have. We have a lot of, you know, our own culture to, you know, take inspiration from and create something. And I think, see, if you really want, if you care about these things, like there are people, Srihari used a mod, he didn't like it. He's like, I want a time travel astra so I can go back and not watch the film at all. But I know this person. I know this person, what kind of films he likes. It's not that he doesn't like this kind of genre at all, but I understand why he didn't like it at all. But, you know, I think we can, you know, cut some slack for the film because it's the first time someone is attempting something like this. There's no, you know, rules of what to do, what not to do, you know, previously in Indian cinema. In West, of course, you can take, but they have their different set of limitations and, you know, things they can pull off, which we cannot. You know, and as, Keshav also mentioned, and most of you mentioned that big issue with the film is the love story. And the biggest reason is that what they try to do, as Manoj said, the love story, that they created Brahmastra and they created love story and they had to fight and love will win.
Yeah.
You created Brahmastra very well. You didn't create the love very well enough for that climax to pay off. And that climax should have come in third part, where
And I think,
the love is built on. You know,
They should have
like
built it
here
up.
it doesn't work. It falls apart. And after second watching, right, all of you mentioned few things which I think after second watching, you guys will find your answers. I don't have time. I think we don't have time to go through all of it. But in the second watching, right, one thing again, what stood out as the flaw was the love angle, especially in the second half. First half, I felt I really enjoyed. Nothing I had issues with. Even Alia going with him. If you again watch it, right, there's something going on with Alia's character, and I wish they had a payoff to it at the end. But when she says, right, I'll go with you, you notice her, there's something going on. And it cannot be bad acting, right? Like she's just making any face and Ayan, yeah, great shot. No, there's a reason she's making some facial expressions, thinking. She's manipulating Ranbir's character. Oh, I'll also go. So there's a lot of things you will notice in second watch.
But you know what? When Alia's character Isha says that ये मुझे बताया क्यों नहीं that आग से रिश्ता and all that.
Oh,
I was thinking like she like purposely wanted to know.
Yeah.
Why is he hiding that?
Yeah.
She wants to know all of it.
See,
And then at
तो
the end,
झूठ क्यों बोला शिवा?
see again one more thing. I
slept in that dialogue. I just
in the execution, right? In the execution, there are a lot many places. I'm like, maybe their character doesn't need to say anything. Why there's she and there's Shiva. If you want to, there's moments where like Shiva, look, something's coming. You can just say, hey, look, not Shiva. And she's doing this so many times that it becomes a joke.
One more thing I want to add. One more thing I want to add. When they are planning to go to Varanasi, ये वाराणसी जाना पड़ेगा क्या? हमको वाराणसी जाना पड़ेगा. हाँ, हमको वाराणसी जाना पड़ेगा. वाराणसी.
There's a lot of these
we get that. We get that you are going to Varanasi. Fine.
Especially
I mean, you always expect them to look at the screen and just say, "We are going there." Okay.
In fact, the placement of the word Varanasi was a bit odd to me. Instead of Varanasi, like who calls it Varanasi? Like it's Banaras. Kashi बोल देते यार.
These kind of cringe dialogues came in a movie called Marjama last time I saw this kind of trolling. But Nona talked about that particular scene. But I think in general, like in this film, overall, I was not as excited with Alia's acting. It was a little underwhelming, like because the kind of work she has done in recent past, Darlings or Gangubai. So the bar is set so high. Maybe because this was shot long back a few years ago.
Yeah.
But still, she was even all those years ago. Like if you see Highway, which was probably before this was shot. She was always she always had that conviction. But here, I just maybe now it's because that bond was not there between the two. But still, at least Ranbir was still more convincing in his performance than Alia. So I don't know, Alia could have acted better. Maybe then it could have elevated the love story a little bit more.
Yeah, but
convincing. Yes, Ranbir Kapoor was convincing, but his performance, I think, is one of the weakest performances in this movie.
I have to say one thing again. I have seen some behind the scene footage, and it's literally them in a green room, full of green screen.
Yeah.
So I think we have to cut
Blue
them
screens,
also,
blue screens.
some slack that it's for them also the first time they are just acting in a green screen room.
Sure.
And they don't know.
And
like I'm sure after this, like I think S.S. Rajamouli said that when we made first movie, right, we had no clue what we are doing, how to shoot a green screen sequences very well, the time to put in. And he said now when we make Bahubali 2, even the people who were there on set, right, all the people, even they had no idea how to do these things. For them it was first time also. So it took a lot of time to make that film. And even like before release, the producer was like, put a shot with green screen in the film. I don't care. We don't have money. Just release this film. So but they still managed to do it. And the second movie was much faster and much quicker because they had learned the experiences. And I'm sure same.
I have a question. I have a question here actually. If I can ask, is there any other director in Bollywood who could have done a better job in this movie?
Farhan Akhtar.
With the same movie.
Farhan Akhtar.
He doesn't have experience with this kind of.
I don't think anyone has in Bollywood.
Ayan also had no. We are talking about right now that hey, we didn't know how to make movies.
Actually, the thing is, Farhan Akhtar has also done coming of age movies. Like he's the one who started with Dil Chahta Hai in Bollywood.
Yeah.
And the way he pulled off Dawn, being a remake, it was done in such a way that. So that is why I think Farhan Akhtar could have made a good superhero movie. Like Brahmastra. I was actually thinking Brahmastra.
Who directed Ravan?
I would have.
Ravan was made by Anubhav Sinha.
I would have put my money on Vikramaditya Motwani because he tried with Bhavesh Joshi. It was very impressive.
But still not. See what happens, right? Like,
but he knows how to make a superhero.
See, you need a Ayan Mukerji to spend 10 years on this. Someone else will not spend 10 years on your project or your idea. You get it? So I think
I have a
but Farhan Akhtar spending a lot of time on Dawn.
That's his film, right?
I'm just saying hypothetically, which director could have spent their 10 years in their
Basil Joseph.
vision of
Basil Joseph, Minal Murali's director.
No, but okay, let's I think let's come to the plot and the theories and all of that. One thing, when Rajma met Rice, says Shahrukh ने बोला था काशी. Yeah. By the way, second watch, right? I love the whole segment of Shahrukh and then cutting back to, and also I don't know if any of you noticed, Shiva starting to have visions because Isha
Yeah, you
touched,
saw
I
made the
talked
video.
about my video.
Yeah.
So when I saw
everyone
second
saw
time,
it.
right, he goes in the pandal and he's praying and he puts his hand in front and someone puts
Right.
flowers in his hand. And next shot is a wide angle where you see Alia Bhatt putting the flower and coming back. And they haven't seen each other. And from that moment, he starts to have visions. So I think that just solves everything, that there's something going on with Isha. But I hope, the last and the end, they would have revealed something. And that would have
They
actually
should have,
answered so
because-
many questions.
Yeah.
Why
Because
this
this movie has
secrecy?
its own,
Why
it doesn't hold
we
up.
don't, know about anything about her. My worst part in the film is that later
Even
in the film, right, like when Ranbir wakes up and he's like, no Guruji, मैं नहीं रुकूंगा क्योंकि मेरे पास प्यार है अब. I'm like, what nonsense, you made it 2 days back. Those moments are the cringe moments in the second half, wherever at the end the love ने बचा लिया, like कहाँ का love? Where is this love?
and one more issue. Ranbir did so much to reach the ashram, and वहाँ जाके he automatically says, "Oh no, I don't want to be a part of this."
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you do all this thing? You could have put the pizza outside.
Oh my
No, I think
He-
okay. I think
so
why
much
he.
to read.
I might have a reasonable explanation. So almost when they reach there, exactly at the entry point, they had that whole sequence with,
Interval scene.
interval scene.
with one of
Okay.
the sidekicks.
Just want to add, that moment where Swayam hi to Agni hai. My favorite moment, and I hated that it didn't come back in the climax.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
trailer
climax.
moment,
Yeah,
the
but it
trailer
was so
moment when he
good.
gets up and the music comes in, I
Yeah.
was like,
Peak of the
Yeah.
movie.
climax,
It's
where
the
is
peak.
it? Keshav, what is this? Sorry.
Climax-
I know, it's not on me.
Climax is actually climax में there is a song called Rasya.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah, that was
talking
also great.
about when
वो भी अच्छा है.
he's
It's a great
overpowered
song.
and the fire totally comes and he gets up. The trailer shot where he
Yeah, the
gets up
poster,
and
right?
makes the sword and all, right?
Yeah.
That time they
The
didn't play
poster behind
Swayam
it, yeah.
but they were playing
No, so-
they were playing one rendition of it, but not the main one. So.
Yeah. So
I know.
Rasya came before in the first half, which is in a different music
Yeah.
arrangement style that is
Right.
sung by a different singer.
Very slow
And then,
version, right?
yeah, and then at the end it's sung by a different singer. So
Okay.
the point I was making is ki, after all the time they spend in reaching, just at that moment he sees Alia, almost face death, right? So maybe
Yeah.
I think that's what scared him, that it's for me, I can't put the love of my life into all this trouble, or have this near death experience. That's why probably he backs out.
Oh no,
after reaching.
I'm not criticizing the story here. I'm criticizing the acting of Ranbir at that time.
Okay.
He felt
Okay,
very.
that's a different
He felt very.
And the
He
execution
felt
of
very
that
like.
scene.
Manoj Jalastra
Yeah,
came in
the
your room.
execution was very weird. Yeah.
No, but
But
I
yeah,
just want
I'm
to say,
okay
like,
with
what
the story,
Keshav says makes a lot of sense. But the
Yeah,
way
it
they
makes sense, it makes
executed
sense.
that, it didn't come off in
Execution
that
was-
way. It
yeah.
felt like, I don't know.
Did you also notice, like, they tried this a lot of times, that you feel like the danger is over, but it's not.
Yeah.
Multiple times in the film.
Yeah.
Or like,
But
finally
that I
danger
didn't
is
mind.
over.
But it
That I
was
didn't
too
mind.
No,
good. It was
I'm not
too
saying it's
easy for
a
Ranbir.
wrong thing. I'm saying
Things
it's
were too
like
easy for
they
Ranbir.
did something like
It
that.
was
Okay,
fun, it was fun.
we have
You know what?
we have talked
I want to
about-
appreciate one thing about the movie, about the VFX. Actually, like what happens is, like if you are watching an animated film, like a proper animated film, if the focus on one particular character, then the characters behind them will also be like blinking eyes talking to each other. This happens in Hollywood
yeah.
films.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So what I noticed in this film was when he uses when Nagarjuna's Anish uses Nandi Astra, we could see blinking of the Nandi character, like VFX, when it was actually blinking. So I felt like that attention to detail was put in that particular. It's not like that, just that 2D image was put of the character on that,
Yeah.
but it's actually working.
Right.
Yeah, and like we talked about, which other director could have done a better job. Ayan still did a very good job. Let's
Yeah.
Work. We need work.
let's address the elephant in the room. Which dialogue writer would have been a better choice? Because Hussain Dalal was not the right choice. Doesn't matter even if he has done good work before this in other
Yeah.
films.
Nona could have done some good.
You know, I'll just say
I think I could have done a better job in dialogue.
after watching the movie again, right?
Same amount of money.
After watching the movie again, there was no issue with the the grammar of the dialogues. You know, like how the cat. You know, because if you notice, if you watch the
Nona,
movie
come on,
again,
you are being paid by
no.
Brahma, yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's
How
no.
much?
There
grammar
are- there are
grammar में-
listen to me.
grammar में problem नहीं है,
Listen to me.
tonality में, selection of words में problem नहीं है.
that's what I'm coming to, because like you know the dialogue where he says कुछ पिज्जा जैसा है. अरे he doesn't know कि it's Brahmastra,
Yeah.
it's a big weapon or something like that. उसको दिखा विजन में तो like अरे पिज्जा जैसे है ऐसे, तो that's like the common
Yeah,
one,
actually,
the
that was
way
fine. That
explained,
dialogue
right?
was fine.
Because that's what I'm
They
saying.
said
People trolling like अरे ब्रह्मास्त्र को पिज्जा बोला, like dude, that guy doesn't know it's a Brahmastra. Of course he'll describe what he has seen like that.
Yeah, but I don't think people have a lot of problem with those kind of things where they're actually giving the details of Brahmansh or Brahmastra. But people have more problems with Isha Mera Button hai. And you know.
Oh God, oh God. That was
Yeah,
so
it's like
funny.
he's a common guy.
उसका भी placement खराब है यार.
I didn't second watch. I didn't mind it. The only things I mind was the expositionary dialogues in the second half, especially where the scene where they come when Isha returns and the shank में they open it and all. Oh my God! Like ये शंख है. Oh ये खुलेगा अब. इसका connection है शिवा के साथ. तभी उसकी माँ ने रखा था. Like come on.
अरे we get that, bro.
We get it. What is this?
नहीं वो तो मुझे
I
पता
was
लग गया
thinking
they
about
dumbed it down so much for the
And it
kids
all
audience,
felt like
but,
afterwards
you know,
they put all these dialogues.
and all the time they attempted to be humorous. That just fell flat. I mean, just if you remember that Alia's friends, when they come to the orphanage and somebody tells him that dumb guy that it's an Anath Alia, and he says Annahu. So
No, yeah.
I think a lot of reasons why the
I've seen those
superhero
people.
movies fail in India is because they are like making for the mass children instead of audience. Like anyway, yaar, like Krish, if we consider Krish was better movie. Krish 3 was not so good, and then even Ravan, it was oversimplified. Then too much.
Almost there's
Too
a
much for
fear. It's almost like there's a fear that if we don't simplify it, they won't get it and we won't be accepted.
Yeah.
No,
But
they
instead
simplifying
of
is one
focusing
thing.
on
Again,
kids,
But the
and-
audience is
time
not.
thing, right?
But
Time
even the
thing.
general audience is not that dumb. Like
No,
Yeah,
but
see,
simplifying
if
is
this
one
film
thing.
had come in 2015, right? It would have worked and no one would have any questions.
no, I don't.
No,
I don't
dude,
think so.
I have seen
okay.
enough people who like don't
Think
understand
about-
basic stuff.
No, but
That's
see,
okay, but think about the-
simplifying is one thing, but humor has always been such an important part of superhero films, even in West. Like Deadpool, those one-liners were so killer. But here, the humor fell so flat that I literally felt a void. That where are those one-liners where the whole theater is laughing? Maybe one or two instances I can remember where it might have felt funny, but other than that, just to simplify it very, very consciously, I think they fell flat in humor as well.
Right.
There were some moments where I didn't laugh. I didn't find that funny, but no, the theater was laughing. I'm like, okay. Especially
Like
the
what?
kids.
My theater was
the
laughing
kids
more on
were
the
like,
dialogues.
ये क्यों आएगा पटाखे जलाने तो खुद का पटाखा लाया है. And like the kids were joking and all. My theater was laughing both times.
Somebody in my theater shouted when Kesariya was going on that अबे वाराणसी Anish Shetty को बचाने आया, dance करने आया.
Okay, I have a thing for that. That whole sequence is happening in their imagination. The whole Kesariya song is happening.
नहीं यार,
in their
but वो जहाँ पे
imagination.
गाना खत्म होता है, they are in the boat and
No,
then they fire
again,
catch.
watch it again. So what happens, right? She is looking at him and imagining, he is thinking about her imagining, but when she comes over, right, he is not looking at her. Because the song, he's singing and looking at her, but when she comes over, he is not looking there because it's all happening in their mind. And there are scenes in middle.
Nona being paid by
Hey,
Dharma.
this
You
is
can say
an
whatever you
Inception
want.
sequel.
For a movie that they have dumbed down, this is too much.
Nona, I think you can like fund them a ticket on this Friday for 75. They have to go watch it second time and see all these points you're making.
That 75, I'll not mind.
Yeah.
My alternate choice for dialogue writer would be Vijay Krishnacharya. Guru was lit. Okay.
Okay.
Gaming King is
Achha,
here.
I have one
agree, bro.
question. If you could replace Ranbir and Alia Bhatt with the actors, who would you choose? Whom would you choose?
Yeah, I just want to say add one
Part
thing.
two
One
characters.
thing before this. Like if this film didn't made them fall in love and marry each other, no film would have.
So true. So true.
Someone was comparing this film is basically their pre-wedding shoot and all.
Yeah.
No, I
Nona
actually
being
have a
played by the
theory.
Kapoor family.
No, I actually have a theory on this. I feel like because the love story was so weak that they did some, like method acting and to like find a love story. And that's how they fell in love.
Also, one more thing: if they were not actual couples, we would have got like There was no way we could have got sold with this whole love story.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
also
true.
Yeah.
Nona samosa lover. Thank you. I'm more of a vada pav guy, so it's okay.
It's some of our life.
But okay, I think the next big question is who will be Dev? And I still feel it was a missed opportunity. If they had revealed, right, the actor, it
Yeah,
would have like
Shahrukh
people
Khan,
would have
yeah,
been.
I
right?
wanted it to
It's
be
a
Shahrukh
Ranbir
Khan so
only, right?
badly.
Film companion interview said it's
Anupam
Ranbir.
Chopra
Yeah,
said
but
it's Ranbir.
It's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah,
same
Anupam
thing,
Sharma.
right? It's not like that buzz, right? Like at the ending, you just reveal the actor and people lose their minds. And everyone's
I
talking
just
about
think,
it.
you know
Like in
what, Nona?
Vikram.
Even just the
Vikram.
eyes would have worked. Just the eyes of the actor.
Yeah, just have them in the
So if
shadows.
you show
and
eyes,
like,
just
look-
show the
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
literally expecting now they'll show it. Cut. What? What?
Kind of why
I thought maybe a post-credit scene. We all, my theater didn't anyone moved. We all sat till post-credit and suddenly blank. Welcome to Inox. Everyone, everyone shouting, giving, abusing.
Come on, it's a Dharma movie, not Marvel.
Oh, man.
Please grow up.
Nona, I thought you stayed all this while to see my name, and you were.
It's
I
very bad,
have
though.
to
That's
say,
very bad.
some films credits they just roll it like no one is gonna read. Just
Yeah,
go
yeah,
fast,
yeah.
just go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Okay,
and,
Alia will be replaced by. My question. Coming back to my question.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wait, both actors or just
Both
Alia?
actors. Both actors.
yeah,
I wouldn't mind if they
I
went with a
think-
newcomer.
Kirti Sanan would be a good choice, I believe. I'm just thinking about commercial Bollywood actors.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirti Sanan could do a good job
maybe.
in this kind of role. She can do action also.
What about like it's a very
Mona
left
Thakur?
field, yeah,
Mona
left
Thakur?
field choice. Yeah.
We don't have him anymore, but I would have loved Sushant to be there. I
Oh,
think Sushant
yeah,
would have been
yeah,
a
yeah.
really good pick.
I think Sushant would have been perfect. Now
He
when I
would do a
think, I
good
can
job,
see
yeah.
him. I can see him in the movie. Like,
Even there's this actor like he's still not in the A list. Might take a
What
long
about
time
Vic?
or might not ever get there. But I really love his work. He was in the Laila Majnu. What's his name? I forgot his name.
The lead actor?
Yeah.
I forgot his
Bhave
name.
Joshi actor.
No.
Even I don't know.
Maybe somebody in comments can tell.
Yeah.
He was in that Imtiaz Ali's brother film Laila Majnu. He was also
Avinash Tiwari.
Avinash Tiwari. Yes.
okay.
He has that, he has that kind of an aura to him that he can be in the film like this.
Guys,
What about,
whom would you like to see
Vicky
as
Kaushal?
Dave?
Vicky Kaushal.
Actually, you know what?
Vicky Kaushal. I was thinking about Vicky
before
Kaushal.
Vicky
Yeah.
Kaushal, okay, before we come to Dev, we have 60 people watching. Thank you. Hit that like button so more people can join us for the final round of our talking about the film. And also, if you want more such discussions of several MCU, DCU kind of stuff, subscribe to this channel. Check out Abhinit on Geeky Shiki. Check out Keshav on All Things Cinema Podcast. I have put their channel names in the description. You can just click on them. And
I
check
feel
out
like
iTunes.
it's their subscribers that has come here.
Yeah, so
So they're checking
Guys,
us
subscribe to
first.
this one.
I actually did share it on my channel as well, so maybe some people
Yeah.
might have come from there.
Randeep Hooda people are saying for Dev. Okay,
I
let's come to
brought two
Dev.
people.
Let's come to Dev.
You know, actually, when the Pathan ki images of leak हुई थी ना, so Shahrukh Khan is long hair. I thought he's Dave. He's playing Dave,
Oh.
but he's not.
I think you need a younger actor for Dev. I think it's okay. Shahrukh played good for what he got.
Not younger, but someone in the 40s, right? Because after all, he has to play Ranbir's father in the next one. So think about that.
No, younger
You know the
as in
sole
not
reason
a
why
They can do
20-year-old
all this.
boy,
Even Ranbir is 40, but he's playing a 30-year-old.
But yeah, double role ना फिर वो Krish and वो Rohit
but I
वाला
don't
हो
want Ranbir यार. Shamshera
No,
में
no,
हो
no.
गया.
I don't want
Shamshera is
Ranbir. I'm
okay.
just saying if Ranbir can play 30 as a 40-year-old, some other person can play a 50-year-old as a 40-year-old.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Any young actress would like to play the role of, like, I know it was Deepika, but like
Deepika
as
is
mother
also
on.
37, I guess. She's 37 anyway.
No, he's saying
Kaun?
that against Deepika, like no one would like to play an old, like a father figure.
Like
But I don't think
I
Dave
have a
is
reason.
that father.
I have a reason. Like when Preeti Zinta like purposely left Krish because she didn't want to play the role of mother
Yeah.
of Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would she,
yeah,
right? Similarly, I
Yeah.
don't think so. Any young
okay.
actors would like to play the role of as a Sasu Ma of Alia Bhatt.
I'm sorry. It's Rishikesh is like it's Salman Bhai. Haven't you seen the new teaser with the long hair?
Oh yes.
Arjun Rampal guys is now he's getting old and also they'll cast a bigger name than him. He's
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
actor, but
No, but some people are saying that. Like, some people are saying that would they want someone to take away? Like, would they want this to be a multi-star movie and
How
get other
about
people in?
somebody from South? Could it be like a Rana Daggubati? Because he was.
That'd be
no.
good.
The body looked very different.
I mean, dude, they just put
You
the
know,
No,
model, right?
I think
just
they
keep
have
the model.
done a KGF part 1 kind of thing. Like they did not show Sanjay Dutt, but it was someone else. But eventually,
Yeah.
Sanjay Dutt came.
No,
in
and
the
I'm saying
part 2.
this because Rana was in Ye Jawani, so they,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just.
Oh, I
trying
saw
to-
that someone shared it right on Twitter. I was
Nice
like,
one,
shit,
good
yeah, you
one,
are
good
the one. But see, I would
No,
say,
but
see
I
the
just want to say one thing.
South Indian thing is right.
Yeah.
It will be mostly if they do that to get the South.
Pan India.
Or, yeah,
Pan
get
India.
that. Which
I
I'm not a
just
fan
hope-
of.
But they,
I just
but
hope
they will
it's
get
not
someone who
this.
can speak Hindi.
Yeah, I just hope it's not this Liger guy, man.
I
Oh my
think you know
God.
what I was thinking. My theory.
I watched Liger. I did watch Liger.
You wasted that money on that. You deserve, man. $1,000 bucks for Brahmastra. You
I
deserve
watched
it.
online. I
Man,
watched
you
online.
deserve it.
I watched it online.
Okay.
Nona being Dharma YouTuber as usual again.
I watched it online.
I'm like,
for
you
free.
deserve it. No. You know what my theory was?
I watched it online for free.
Maybe they had actually casted him only. They were supposed to show him, but because Liger was such a flop, they're like, okay, let's change it and
Oh
let's
my
not show
God.
the actor. That's what
Nona's
my
brain.
thinking is, but
Maybe.
it can be anything.
So they have an alternative in Shahid Kapoor.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
No, I just want to say one thing. I think we shouldn't get too like caught up on the body structure of that person because they obviously just put a stand in, right? So it could look
Yeah.
different. So I mean, I don't think we need to compare. Like people are like comparing abs of like. So
Yeah.
I think it still could be anyone.
And,
Anyone with
do
a
you
strong
think-
build.
Do you think like the role of Ranbir Kapoor will be relatively lesser in part 2 Deva because it
Yeah,
will revolve
I have
around-
actually a theory for that because I'm leaving, so I'm just ending my part over here. So what I think mostly the second part will be a prequel to the movie, and the ending part, like up to like everything is shown, like just last 5-10 minutes, it will be continuation from where the part 1 was ended.
So
And we'll
actually,
see face-
he has
face-
talked about it, Ayan, and he said that it will be like we'll get flashback as well as present story will continue. So like a Godfather 2. So we're
That's
going
just
back
brilliant.
and coming back again and again through the movie.
It could also be like Bahubali 2, right? In which they were continuing the
Yeah.
backstory in the first half, and
Yeah,
then
and
this,
then-
Yeah,
No,
possible,
and then
quite
the business
possible.
started.
But my question was because part 1 was named Shiva, and Shiva is Ranbir. So part 2 is named Deva. So relatively, the character arc or the runtime he gets, will it get any
No, but
lesser?
it also will be Dev in present, right? What he wants now.
Oh.
Now he's back. What he's gonna do? So his story in the
Yeah, so
present
he got
also.
the Brahmastra at the end.
No, he didn't get it.
Like,
he just got
like-
freed.
But
He got freed
is he
after.
awakened? He's awakened, right?
Yeah, he's awakened. But he doesn't have
So
the
the-
Brahmastra.
Okay,
Brahmastra,
so
right?
guys, I have to
Yeah,
leave.
so
I
the
have to
question,
leave,
okay.
unfortunately.
No
Guys,
problem, man.
overstayed
Thank
for
you.
15
Thank you.
minutes.
Sorry,
Thank you so much
delay
for
happened,
having
but-
me.
All of our
No
viewers will leave now.
It's not like that. Nothing like that. So
thank
thank
you,
you so
man.
much for
Thank-
inviting me over here.
Sure, man.
It was
Sure.
really
It was-
nice
It's always
it's a
great to
delight
have
to
you.
have you.
Same as same.
Thank you for your time, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Keshav, all the very best for the second part. I hope you get the work after this discussion. Or no, just private it.
Thank you guys. Please
And-
subscribe to my music channel as well. Thank you.
Definitely. And Nona, all the best on being Dharma Ka YouTuber.
I got a new
Okay, bye
tagline.
Sahil, bye Manoj,
Bye,
bye.
bye, dude.
Bye, Vinay.
Keshav, bye.
Take care.
Chat
Okay,
wait, we
bye.
are not going.
Take care,
Chat
man.
wait.
Take care.
Okay, part 2 is gonna be crazy. I think Ranveer and Deepika shot the scene, but they had some issues, so asked not to put their face till they sign the deal.
Actually, that's a very what Keshav was saying about, because I saw some people like, obviously this is more about being a star in Bollywood. Like, would Ranbir want to share space with someone like a Ranbir? Like, this is his franchise in a way.
Or it
I
could
saw-
be Aditya Roy Kapoor also, because he has a good.
No,
In
yeah.
that case, I'm giving my $100 to Keshav instead of going to the movie. If it's Aditya Roy Kapoor.
No,
So
because
much strong opposition against him.
No, I am only connecting the dots because these two were also together in Ye Jawani.
Ye
right?
Jawani, yeah,
And this
understood.
guy has probably that abs or that
Oh,
body
then we can have
structure.
Aditya Roy Kapoor and Kalki as the
No, but
mother of Ranbir.
she's Amrita is done, right? So, Deepika only. It's very obvious
Yeah.
from
We're
the
getting,
post
ARK.
interval scene, right?
That's true, yeah.
But
Let's get Kalki as the wife.
no, but coming to Ranveer thing, right? I think a lot of people were like talking about this on Twitter that Ranveer should not because he'll take all the limelight from Ranveer
Like,
because
yeah.
how he did in Padmavat and all of that.
Padmavat.
True.
But I think, see,
True.
best I think the person is to be Ranveer because Deepika and easily their chemistry works. They have proved it in 3 films now, 2 films.
It's the convenient choice, like the
yeah.
obvious choice.
Obvious choice,
kind
and
of.
he has that star power today.
Hmm.
That he can
Yeah.
pull in. People will be
See,
really
I
excited
mean-
to because it's the first film of Ranbir versus Ranbir. Finally, you know.
Yeah.
So-
If
RK
they are-
versus
see,
RK.
if-
Marketing.
If they are looking at real life couples, then of course, like now with Alia and Ranbir also married. So either they can go Vicky Kaushal and Katrina or Deepika and
Very few options.
No, but
they
we
have.
already have
Yeah.
Deepika, right? So
or if they run out of options,
Let's have
Anushka and
Anushka
Virat
Sharma
Kohli.
and Virat Kohli. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, Virat Kohli.
It's
70
the same thing at the same
century.
time. I want that.
This is his post-retirement plan.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Anushka Sharma and
anyways, the
Virat Kohli.
film will come like in
That
5-6
would be
years.
So good.
So he can
Yeah.
easily score his
Yeah.
runs, retire, and
And
then
trust
come in
me,
the movie.
that film will have like a bigger opening than this one.
100%. 100%.
There'll be a scene where he's haunted by the number 71. Like,
And he'll have to go to Dubai to fetch it.
You know, there's a theory that Amitabh's character is actually
कुछ
evil.
तो रिश्ता है
The
मेरा
villain.
71 से.
The Guruji is evil.
I heard
But
that.
some theories like
yeah.
he was in love with
Bachchan's
Amrita and and he actually pitched them against each other and like, they was actually had some not that he's an anti-villain kind of, not a full-on villain, and that's why because the bigger theory is that why even after the fight Amrita survived with the kid, why she didn't come back to Brahmanch, like why should she leave?
Yeah.
So there's
What
theory
if
that maybe
Shiva
he was.
is... What if
I
Shiva
want
is
I want
Amitabh
Abhishek
Bachchan's
Bachchan to
character's
play a
son?
younger version of Amitabh if they are doing that.
Oh, I
That'd be
thought
cool.
you were saying I want Abhishek Bachchan to play Deva.
No.
Oh no.
No, I'm just saying, what if Shiva is actually his son? Amitabh Bachchan's son?
No, dude,
Like,
it's not
that'll
Game of
be
Thrones.
like-
It's not Game of Thrones. Okay, it's Indian.
I actually heard one more theory in which they said that even Alia Bhatt's character is evil and she is working for Dev. Apparently, there's this one shot in which we can see that Alia Bhatt is wearing a ring which is similar to what Dev is wearing in one of the scenes.
Okay.
So that's why she is a part of the whole Dev cult, and she probably is trying. Like I think that's why she's pushing Shiva to like be a part of this whole thing.
By the
whole
way,
circus and-
it's been more than an hour. We didn't touch upon at all, about the antagonists, Moni Roy and the sidekicks. I just felt that,
she worked for me.
every protagonist needs an equal and convincing antagonist, right? So
Yeah.
I just didn't like how we saw Minal Murli, right? So
Yeah.
that contest between the two was very convincing. Here, at times it was convincing, but because of those two sidekicks, it was just pulling it down. The more I wanted to get into it, those sidekicks were, who the hell was the casting director on this one? Why were these two people cast? They could have.
Watching the movie again, right? There are a lot of references. Like there's a very obvious one there at the end, right? When Moni Roy comes in with the power that the Nagin thing comes over her. I don't know where. That's no relation to it. Again, I feel it's an Easter egg. Then there's one more thing. So the character who plays the Genda, not Genda, his name is something.
Zor.
Raftar.
He actually in the latest Mahabharat serial we had, he actually played Bhim, and he's carrying like the Vanarastra basically. So that's like a connection they are building. Maybe I have no idea. But I think
wait, because you guys told about the henchmen, something just came to my mind, and it's been bothering me from when I saw the movie. I think maybe I missed something. Why did SRK, after fighting those people?
Yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid.
Why did he? Okay, so that was stupid, right?
Yeah.
It was not something I missed.
Yeah.
Like a better execution of the scene would have been he defeats them both, goes up, beats them down, and he comes back, and then Moni Roy comes in.
Then Moni,
It makes more sense. Then
Yeah.
oh, I'm Brahmanchka, and he just leaves. And then next scene we get Ranbir back and everything, and then he comes back, and they're just
Why did he
waiting
come
here.
back? Yeah. I mean, like, it's like the
It's not even
last
like
place
he
you would
took
go.
that thing with him and left,
Yeah.
to
By the
Brahmanch.
way, I hope after the trilogy is completed, maybe they get to make like a spin-off on Mohan Bhargav.
Oh,
No,
How
that
he
would be
already
amazing.
said it.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah, he
Ayan
said that. He will make
Who?
it one.
Because there's already so much demand. He
I
said
tweeted
it.
about it.
We already had plans, something like that, and now people are asking him. So we'll definitely, we're thinking about it. But I don't think it will come. I think his focus will be on the first, or
But
maybe
do you-
someone
Yeah, yeah.
else directs it, and then that's
But
possible.
yeah, he'll be the producer
Yeah.
and this thing. Do you think Asaka's character actually died, or do you think there's any scope for him coming back in the later?
The death was quite impactful, so I hope he died.
Yeah, but we
But
never
I
saw
hope-
him
I
die,
hope.
right? Like we
No,
never saw
because
him.
people said right, he suicided and also
Ha,
that means the
suicided,
body is
no,
there,
but-
right?
Yeah, but
That-
it could be a fake out. Like
Genda
he's a
or Hathi, yeah.
scientist.
Yeah, maybe the Brahmas guys hid his body somewhere.
hid
and
his
they
body
just
somewhere and
claim that.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because in the climax, I don't know
In
why.
comics also they do this. Yeah.
Yeah, in the climax, I don't know why. Maybe because I just loved SRK so much. I was waiting for him to come. Like when the shit was just going off and off.
In
you
the
know,
third
I was
part,
like,
maybe.
"No."
Maybe third part they
But,
show up
Yeah,
like
that
Endgame.
would be amazing.
Were you guys like surprised with this connection between Swades and? Did
No,
people know about this?
I didn't think about it. I saw it on Twitter. Someone said,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's the same name."
Even
Like,
I
No,
saw
no,
it.
I saw it. I realized it in the movie only that I remember Mohan Bhargav is his full
No,
name.
no.
in Swadesh.
Before the movie released, everybody knew there is Sharukh Khan,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nobody probably knew that he's from. It's
Swadesh.
an
No,
old
but-
character from.
Yeah, we didn't know the name.
Is
Nah.
it?
If we
Is
knew
it
the
old?
name,
I don't
then
think
we would
it's
know.
the same thing. Like, there's nothing like no factual thing that it's the same character from Swadesh. It's just the same
The
name.
name
It's
is
like,
same.
It's basically
The
a
name
reference.
is same,
Reference, right?
and they both were scientists.
Yeah,
So
that's a
that
basically
it has
like
to
a
be. It
Easter
ha-
egg,
it-
right? It's a Easter egg.
It has to be same, right?
It's a
I mean,
parallel universe.
because
I don't.
The point is,
please,
if-
even
I
if it's
think
like
they
don't
used it only
connect,
to-
don't connect. Like
because see,
that's
Swadesh
totally
ki-
separate thing. Don't connect with this universe unnecessarily. Like, please, that's my
I think
request if
they
they
did
are
also,
doing it.
so that if they wanted to do it at one stage, they could do it. I think
Because
that's what they used.
I
the
was
same
like, within the first scene, we already have a multiverse of madness of Bollywood.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's one more scene, right, where Ranbir calls Amitabh Bachchan rockstar, and they also dance.
Yeah, he
and
calls-
both
yeah,
Alia and Ranbir
Yeah.
dance on Katrina's song.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think someone mentioned in the chat also. Salmuka brothers from BR8 should have been casted as the sidekicks.
Oh, Salamanca brothers from
BRBA.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, Breaking. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I just-
dude, that'd be amazing.
Tiger Shroff or Arjun Kapoor. Flop. Also, everyone addressing that scientist and artist again and again. What a bit off for me, Naren. Naam se bula lo yaar. I think that's again a thing, right? Like, if someone in the audience didn't catch the names, they're like, "Arey, who they are talking about?" So just artist, scientist. Again, to simplify, the thing.
But did SRK name those henchmen? Because he's the one who were like, "Oh, I'll call you this." Then he was
Raftaar
like, "I'll
and
call you
Rose,
this."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it was
Yeah.
like they
Yeah,
kept
it
calling
was-
him that. It was a very
No, because
weird, like-
Ranbir called them that because he saw the visions, right?
But then
So-
in the end, like they were also calling each other that, like.
But these are very, very unusual names. Junoon and Raftar and Zor, It's
there's
Zor
a
was
theory.
weird for me. I
There's a
mean,
theory that
she
Moni
said
Roy,
that you
Moni
are
Roy
fast.
and Ranbir are siblings. So basically, they had two kids.
Yeah, but they have used that kind of a trope already in Krish 3. Like
With
it's a
Carl,
very similar
okay,
case for
okay,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
Krish
little
3 had a
okay,
similar
got
thing,
it.
right? One is actually a kid, and the other is like a version of you and all that kind of thing. So they already did that in Krish. So I hope they don't use that again in this movie.
If it's a prequel, can we expect a younger Vanar and Nandi? Possible. Quite possible.
I wanted Nandi so much. I think that my biggest issue with the movie is actually this only. Like, I wish Nandi's character or Nandi Astra had enough or had equal amount of screen time and VFX also as Vanrastra at least. I think SRK's role was a little elongated. I hope even artist or slash
No, I'll
like
I'll
Naruto's
say-
character was also big.
I'll say his action scenes were more amazing looking than Vanarastra.
Yeah,
I found
it was. That's why I
Shahrukh
wanted
when
the-
he was
I
trapped,
wanted,
right?
I wanted
When
a
Shahrukh
longer
was
one.
trapped,
That's why.
those sequences I really liked more from Shahrukh.
Yeah,
What about that little Himalayan kid who was,
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh, he was amazing.
Tenzin.
He was
Tenzin.
good, but the way
He-
they like the whole
He was the hero
climax,
of the
right?
movie. He was the hero of the movie.
The blocking of that sequence in the end is
Yeah.
bad. It's very
That's true.
amateur, you know. It's like, why is he standing here at the edge of the cliff? From there he came there, and then it's like flash level blocking.
I think again that's for the kids audience. They wanted somebody
Yeah.
for the kids to relate to, so let's cast a kid.
It's like, I feel like if this, I've seen this movie when I was 10, 12 years old, right? When we didn't have anything of our own. And we used to
We
talk
would
about
love
DC. I didn't even know about DC Marvel that time, just Spider-Man and all. And if I had gone and seen this movie, I would have, fallen in love.
Loved it. Yeah.
And I just
That's
wonder
true.
Fair
how
enough.
many people will get inspired watching this film to get into films.
That's true. That's
how Star Wars did for so many today. Today, people working in movies,
Yeah.
Star Wars, Jaws, Spielberg, they got
Yeah.
inspired from them, and today that's why they're into this industry. So I just hope what this film will do. What Bahubali will do. Bahubali for me was
That's-
that film. That.
Yeah, I mean, Bahubali again, you can get that up, but I don't think Brahmastra is still in that.
No, I'm talking about
that
kids. I'm
level,
talking about
just-
kids. Not of
No,
course.
even
not
for
now.
kids, I mean, I don't know, just a feeling. I feel like it's
So
not. quite
did Koi Mil Gaya did that for you as well?
Did Koimani was a sensation when I was a kid, man.
I
It was,
remember.
it was like one of the biggest things ever.
I remember at the same time, a year or two maybe, plus minus, Makdi also came, if you remember.
Yeah,
that film.
I've
Zone
seen
5, yeah.
on TV.
Zone
so
5
much
was
That
times.
yeah.
for me as a kid,
Yeah.
that was the film that did it.
Yeah.
That was so good.
But we should ask a kid this. On what?
See,
no one has
definitely
asked
someone
kids,
is
right?
liking. That's why there are still today houseful shows going on.
Yeah.
And I just hope
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see how the film does in
Yeah,
second week.
families are going.
My
Yeah.
friend
Family
went
to
today
kind of-
for a Friday morning 9 a.m. show on the second weekend, and that was also more than half full.
Yeah. Like even I went for the first show in Goa, and it's mostly even for KGF Triple R, it was like 10% full, and for Brahmastra it was 50% full. For a morning show
Wow.
like that, so that was amazing. Even and the screen which has like extra seats, like the biggest theater here, even that was filled 50%. So I was like, oh, this is really good. It's a prequel, younger. I think we talked about that. So anything else on the film? I think visual effects, I think we can say it's outstanding. I think second time also I watched, there was no. Also one more point, people are saying, how did Isha survive after that fall? Right? When she fell down
Yeah.
and she
Superhero
survived.
movie.
Yeah, and
Superhero
what was,
There's an
what
answer
was-
to that. There's an answer to that. So when
Yeah.
Shiva calls her, right? That was not a great scene. When he calls her, when we see first time Isha, stuck and hurt, and she picks up the call, you see a yellow astra going away. The same astra in the previous scene was used to capture Zor. Remember that thing that captured Zor and he was trying to come out of it? So that
Yeah,
astra
yeah.
was
Yeah,
leaving
yeah.
the frame. That means she was caught by them and it was leaving the frame. Again, it's a technical thing that
I
to
didn't
have
mind that. Yeah.
to have a sequence of showing that, it's just too much work and
That's
money.
why you think. That's
That's
why you think on call she's like, no, I am fine even after all that.
Yeah. So she was
Yeah,
saved
I
by the
ha-
astra. That she was caught by them.
I had a
She didn't
completely
fall.
different explanation. I was just like, okay, it's Andrew Garfield didn't try to save her. That's why she's alive.
Yeah, when Isha fell, there was a yellow net around her going away from her. So
That's
yeah.
good.
Thought about Dave and Isha wearing the same ring. I think we talked about it.
But
The same
do you
way.
think it's a very
I said that now.
it's a personal
Oh, my friend told me about that.
it's a very personal sort of observation, but see, we all who have so much of exposure to DC and Marvel and all
Yeah.
these kind of, we could get all these things, right? But a layman in India, coming from a small town or a rural part of India who goes to watch this film, do you think it'll be too much for him to grasp in one watch? Because my
See-
family went my family went for my work more than anything else. And my mom said she could even hear me in the whole choir thing. she said, I could hear your voice. But like at the end of the day, they enjoyed the experience, but in terms of getting the story and the character arcs and the backstories and plot points, they were not too keen on that. So I just want to ask, like, would a layman who doesn't have exposure to DC, Marvel, or superhero stuff, would they be completely okay with it, or it's too complicated for them?
See, I'll say like Geeky Shiki, right? He has a channel where he explains Marvel DC films, right? He does explanation videos, and they're like it's become a niche on YouTube where Indian YouTubers are breaking all this in Hindi, and because people want to know that. So it can be even for those films, people who are watching them in Hindi and dub languages, even they have many questions they didn't understand, and they watch these videos to understand. And I think same thing is happening for Brahmastra. And again, I said, right, that's what I said in the beginning, right, that they wanted to make it simplified version, so at least first movie they get the basics of it, and then they have to spend time explaining everything again and again in the future films. So it's like, okay, let it be more expositionary, at least they'll understand. Let it be again dialogues explaining the same thing, but at least they'll get it. They'll it will be in their mind. So when the next film comes out, you don't have to do it again and again. They'll be like, okay, we understand Brahmastra, Brahmansh, and this and that.
Yeah, I mean, see, explaining things at the beginning of the film is fine, but on the whole, like, the 2 hour 47 runtime, that whole experience as a visual spectacle, it's a cinematic experience, all that works very well. But somebody who maybe, is used to watch more of Bollywood melodrama or, very, very simple stuff, for those layman people, as the movie goes along, eventually, when you get deeper and deeper into the movie and second half and how these things pan out, do you think that once they walk out of that theater, they would have understood each and everything?
See, I don't think they would understand each and everything, but I think the film, they've tried to simplify it in a way where you can, like, when you watch the film, I don't think they would be in a loss of what's happening. But would they connect to it is another question. Would they actually be rooting for Ranbir's question?
It's like they'll not be just confused. Like
they'll
what's
just be
happening.
watching.
They
They won't be confused, but they'll just be watching it.
The movie was never confusing. I mean, like, it had a very linear storyline.
No, but that's but
we are
thinking from our perspective, right? Like, I remember in the interval when I walked out, I overheard a couple of people saying that yaar kuch samajh nahi aa raha hai. And then later in the second half, I think a couple of characters also say that, and somebody in the movie, some
there's a character who says
when they show the flashback,
and one of the things again I had an issue with, like, one character asked somebody, like, they ask a question that how do you know this, and the answer is bas pata hai. So there was no explanation to that, so that was
no, but I don't think so. There has been any like popular criticism on the fact that the movie is confusing. I believe, like, obviously there are always people who might not care with the movie, might not understand the movie, but I think majority of the people did understand what is happening, what the story is at least.
See,
at least at the end of the movie,
it's all about
only because this is something new for us in India. That's why I'm saying, like, even when I saw Dobara, right? Even in that, the general consensus was like ये movie Indian audience के सर के ऊपर से जाने वाला, because that was something new for us. So इसमें भी there are elements which are new to us. So
that's true. That's true. I don't think I understand everything.
What I think, right? Even people who watch DC Marvel would have been like, I didn't understand it. I think the understanding part is equal for everything, but I feel like at least for them, those people, right? They're going for just enjoyment. कि भाई मेरा पैसा दिया है, बढ़िया मजा आना चाहिए देखने में, and they go home. They're not going home and watching this discussion, right?
So the word of mouth is circulating based on the experience, not on.
It's like big epic visuals. Or it was fun to watch. Vanarastra. It's not like some Greek mythology or from Hollywood.
The experience is not disappointing.
अरे ये तो मैं जानता हूँ, मैंने बचपन में सुना है वानरस्त्र तब. Okay, अरे great.
I feel like that's why it's still running. That's why it's still running.
I think that's the first appeal. I think that's what I've heard a lot of people, because the people who are in the internet bubble, right? They are complaining about our character arc nahi hai, love story is not that good. Story with weak hai, if VFX is not great, and we will not watch it. But the other part, like, we just enjoying this. It's basic love story. They know their songs. That is like the familiar part, and the Brahmastra is unfamiliar. And the film merges then, and they are just okay. Love story hai, pyar hai, Brahmastra, अरे villain होगा next movie में, मजा आएगा. We'll go and watch the second movie.
And that's why I say that Alia and Ranbir like being married in real life works for this a lot. I mean, like that adds a lot.
See, this film 10 years
they were
back.
not married in real life. it is difficult to connect with that. Why are these people together?
Yeah.
Hmm.
This 10 years back, people wouldn't mind Alia's character. Like, this is normal in Bollywood. Today, our expectation for a female character, it should be good as
Female
a
character
male
is
actor.
very
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
True, true.
10
true,
years
true.
back, this like, अरे, this is love story. प्यार हो गया है, देखने में क्या, all good. Today we are questioning
Yeah.
these things.
This is true because earlier, if a movie had one romantic song in the starting, that means that they fell in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah.
And they had this. They had this in this movie. They had a Kissida song, which means that they fell in love.
True.
So
true.
before we end this, like if you had to guess how many years the part 2 will take now,
How?
How many years?
He said 2025 December. So it's because
That's 3.
they want to give time to them, right? They're having a baby. So they want to give time and then they'll start shooting basically, probably.
Oh.
I think 3 to 4 years is a solid.
He said
But
2023
doesn't
December. That's what
VFX takes a lot of time, right?
No,
VFX
but as I
will take
said,
time,
right, it will be quicker
The
this time
assets and everything is already probably there.
because he said the scripts are written for all three. So the story is already
Acha.
like,
But
they will
it would
definitely
be
make
good
some
if we-
changes.
I just hope
definitely.
Please
I-
make changes in the story.
I hope that the dialogues are also not written already.
But Nona,
you guys
you
watch
just
3D?
missed a-
All of you?
yeah.
3D IMAX.
Okay. Yeah, Manoj.
No, I was saying, Nona, you missed a good opportunity to plug your own channel here. Nona, please
Arey, they
explain
know
you were
me,
talking
yeah.
about-
It's okay. They know. I don't mind.
Yeah, but okay, I have a question. What if both the like part 2 and part 3 have the same level of dialogues? What do like?
I don't
would
know.
would the audience be
that
okay
would
with
be
it?
foolish of them to
See,
keep
would
it
be
like
very
that after the
foolish,
backlash.
See, you
they have
guys
got.
know about this bubble, right? That why they do test screenings. So they understand what's the out. We are thinking we have made a great thing, but let's see what other people say out the outside of
Yeah.
it. And same thing because they were doing it for 8 years in their bubble. They didn't want to reveal anything. They didn't have any outer voice saying, "Arey, this is not working. Change this."
Yeah.
You know. And now, you know what? Recently, day before yesterday, my parents were watching Agni.
No, my point is like.
Wait, one
Sorry,
second.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry. My parents were watching
No, no,
Agni, but the Amitabh Bachchan one. And my mother told me that, you know, what happened when the film came out, people didn't like the dialogues and
Yeah.
you know, they were not
True.
good. So while the film was playing, they redubbed the whole film. And when it was
Oh.
over, they you know, put the new, reels in the theaters. And with the new thing, people really loved it. With, you know, Amitabh Bachchan, the deeper voice and all.
Yeah.
So that was redubbed and everything. So, you know, that's the interesting, go, file.
No, I was just saying that I don't think so. Like what you're seeing with Marvel right now, even if the criticism has been coming in for the last 1-2 years, they're still not improving on many things. I'm fearful. What if this
No.
this team also does not improve on it?
I think for Marvel, the problem is a lot of the things are already in motion. For at least in Brahmastra Part 2, you know, it's like they will be taking some time now. You know, he can work on the script, rework.
No,
and-
if the story is already
story
already,
is
like,
fine,
there,
right? The dialogues
what
was the
if-
issue.
No, but
The
see,
dialogues are
even if the
also a
story
bit-
is written, right, there's no hard
Yeah.
and fast rule that they can't change it later on.
They could
No,
definitely
I
change it.
hope they are like I hope they are like not that stringent with the fact that they want to
Yeah.
stick with whatever they have made in the starting. I
Hopefully
just hope
not.
that, like, because that's what Marvel is doing. I think
Yeah.
they have made some plans and they're not changing even if the criticism is coming right now.
The
But
Marvel,
But,
is
do you-
little,
that's what
Marvel is little, I would say,
Bigger
different.
and bigger machine.
Like,
Like,
they have a-
so many parts.
They have an
moving
end
together.
goal.
I'm
We
not
don't
talking-
have anything like Thor is horrible.
Yeah,
but
but the whole point is
maybe
at the
it
end of the
makes
day,
sense.
it is just the people who are making the decisions. If those people are very like adamant about the fact that they don't want to change, they will not change.
see,
Doesn't matter.
the thing is, if the
what-
next film is be amazing, next Avengers film is outstanding, does better than Avengers Endgame, then they are doing the
Yeah.
right thing, right? Then we are maybe it's the wrong thing. We are saying the wrong things, and maybe what we say doesn't really matter. That's the ending, right? Like if next film is the same, but it still works, that means maybe it works. We are just thinking we are the minority who thinks this is not gonna work. You know,
Yes.
that's what we can say, right?
But
Let's
do you
just,
think
Minority-
should,
minority lives matter.
No, I had a question. Do you, because when Sal said about the story not set in stone, or do you think they'll shoot part 2 and part 3 back to back, like how they do with a lot of Hollywood blockbusters, like shooting it back to back so that they can like.
For
I think
Avengers,
Bahubali was
they
also
did,
shot
yeah.
back to back, right? Part one.
Avatar 4 is shooting now.
Yeah, so I mean, do you think they'll do that, or do you think they'll release part 2 and then only start part 3?
I think so because
Considering the
If-
budgets of Indian films now,
Yeah, I mean, if they shoot both of them together, first of all, it'll take more time for them to release part two as well. And it's also like, for example, even if they do shoot both of them together, then people would expect the gap between second and third to be lesser relatively, right? And they would still want to give a couple of years between each film, like how Dark Knight trilogy had some 4 or 5 years gap between everything. So maybe I think they should separate, like they should have this sort of buffer period in between where people can also analyze, they can also analyze the mistakes they made and correct them.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But I think
If
there is some
Keshav would know
upside.
that because he will get the work right. He'll know that
I will-
he's
lots
making
more
music for one movie or two movies.
I will keep Indian Geek Society updated.
Arey, what?
Awesome.
Maybe like part 3, Pritam is like, Keshav, you do it.
Pritam will
I'm,
move.
I'm done. You take care.
I'm taking a step back. I think I want to like leave this industry now. It's enough for me. I have found my next prodigy.
No, then we'll bring Pritam on the stream, and the Keshav will be.
By the time we'll get to part 3, going by 10 years, this one taking, I would be like 50 or something by the time part 3 comes.
Let's check them chat. Akshay says Dev has a astra, Gyan Astra or Gyan Dev, which he used to understand that Isha won't throw the Brahmastra from the hill. How important you guys think of that astra? I think that's the same astra, with the head thing, which happens on SRK's head also when they are trying to find. I like that sequence where they're talking in their mind and she's trying to see, and then when Amitabh Bachchan comes in. Also, one more thing which no one talks about:
Oh, that was interesting.
how Shiva is controlling everyone. So SRK, he said stop, and he stops. He comes back to consciousness.
Mhm.
For Nandi Astra also is like, do it, come on, you can do it, and
right.
like, as if he's controlling these astras.
Yeah,
And
but I think that means that all the astras are connected, and he himself is the astra, so he's able to control someone else's astra version, astra
Hmm.
face.
And
But I
I
feel
was,
like
all
they
the astras are
explore it.
connected.
I was so mad at
It is
that.
just like all the stones are connected, right?
I was so
Infinity War.
mad at that side character. Like, remember that scene where Shiva is in his own world and is connecting with Deva, and when Moni Roy is giving instructions down there,
Mhm.
and then this side character just wakes him up, and I was like, no, I wanted to see. I wanted to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we had seen the real Dave that time.
Yeah.
Attention movie. I've already reviewed it. Check on the main channel. Okay, can you guys please share? Okay, we talked about it. Love story से जहाँ जलने वाले सब सिंगल हैं उन्हें यकीन ही नहीं होता कि एक दिन में लड़की पट सकती है. Also, it's not about लड़की पटाना because it's like a mutual thing that they're both taken aback by each other, right? And in
Yeah.
past films it had worked, so I didn't mind. Fantasies.
No, but still, yeah.
There is
No,
one.
see, I'm not going to say anything.
Akhil say there is one error in a film I have found where Guru talks about all the astras Dev have. He mentions Jal Astra as well as, but Dev only gets Jal Astra after a fight with Amruta. So yeah, even I was confused about that when I saw the movie again, right? We never know which Astra Amrita has. It's never revealed in the film. We are assuming
just
she has the Jal because
Assuming
she
it's Jal
yeah.
Astra.
It's never said in the
Something
movie,
like
so
that.
maybe she doesn't have a Jal. She has some other Astra, and Jal only Dev only processes the Jal Astra.
Right.
So again, it's like a thing which will be explored later.
But again, she gave a Shunk thing, and Shunk is more to the sea area. Like I think that's some of the like connection they want to make. So she probably has the Jalastra only.
What do you think
there's a-
about how Amrita died? I feel like it's
The fire.
I don't think it's Dev who killed her. I think there's a twist about that.
That's
There'll be
probably
like a
Amitabh
big.
Bachchan.
Amitabh
You
Bachchan.
see, putting petrol
Amitabh Bachchan.
and the lighter.
It's kind of like how Harry Potter died and Mother's sacrifice saved him. So
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of same
yeah.
that Amrita's
But then
sacrifice
Dave
Snape
made.
comes Snape comes right. So probably
Dave
Dave
comes
comes back
to-
like that.
Hey,
Dave is
Snape comes
okay.
later, nah?
But what if Snape? What if Dave is like Snape?
No. What if Dave was like Voldemort? Like he tried to kill.
You
the
have
kid
your
or
mom's
something.
astras.
And then Deepika shielded him, and that's how the entire thing sort of happened. I don't know.
I talked about this. Ayan looks like the guy who would take criticisms well and improve, not really show thing. I'm really happy that fellow creators, Men of Culture and Badal PJ, all of those guys, they actually went and met him in Mumbai today in his studio. So he's open to talking with people who really like this and all of that. So that's something really good he did. What about Adipurush? Let's see what happens. Manoj, every day a movie is in a box. Producer are losing huge amount as interest. What? Wait, what? Manoj, every day a movie is in box office, I guess. Producer are losing huge amount as interest.
Wait, is that person's name Manoj, or is he telling that?
No, he's saying Manoj.
Oh, okay.
Mr.
Yes, it's very sad. Producers are losing money. Like,
ये ब्रह्मास्त्र नहीं प्रेमास्त्र था. Yeah, I don't agree to this statement. I know a lot of people are saying it's only love story. Actually, it's not. There's equal amount of effort given to Brahmastra and the world building, and there's love story
I
also.
know it is Amitabh Bachchan's narration at the end in which he claims that सिर्फ प्यार ने बचाया इनको.
प्यार defeated Brahmastra. That's the. See, that was not done well, but it's not like it's just love story. They ruined it. Like the trailer said, the power of love, power of light. He was making a love story only.
Show me love.
That didn't work well, but I'm saying.
I'm not saying love cannot be a.
Yeah, I get it.
The problem was they put so much effort into the world building of Brahmastra, but not enough effort in the love story. That's why it seems uneven and everything.
At the end, in this movie, it would have been better if the power was power only.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like Brahmastra, because they showed that much more than love story.
Yeah, that's true. They should have built that, like Nona said. Maybe in the third movie they could have used the love.
Will this film attract foreign audience when released on OTT like Triple R? Nah.
Triple R got famous before OTT only.
Yeah.
No, Triple R is like that once in a lifetime thing that every 5 minutes there's like a big sequence.
Big scene.
That people just lose their. It's like a reaction worthy movie kind of.
Yeah.
Because it has elements after every 5 minutes and can react to, like you can lose your mind. That's not Brahmastra.
I feel like
song action
in Triple R the emotions really work well. Like
it is that
for me
out loud, that epic feeling, right?
No, that's also fine.
Yeah.
That I agree. That epicness, but like you feel the friendship between
very
these two characters.
Yeah.
You feel what Beam feels about wanting to save.
It's like mass for even Americans.
I'm just saying the emotions you feel. That's why I feel like everyone is connecting to it. Like for me, the movie Triple R lost me a little bit. It was towards the end where the action they were just going on and on. But till there, I was like, I feel what these
Americans love that most.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's going to play Dev and Amrita? We talked about it. Probably Ranbir. Deepika is for sure Amrita. For Dev, let's see. Ranbir most probably. Any idea for my question? We talked about it. हर मूवी में घुसाना जरूरी है क्या? लव घुसाना जरूरी है क्या? यार, why not? यार, we are living in a time where we want everything to be negative.
There's so much of hate.
Yeah, so I think
and
it's
plus
okay.
It's also a common or a mutual thing that probably happens in every human's life.
Yeah.
At least once. So it's a very deep rooted.
Not
emotion.
every human, but okay.
Nona, please.
I said in the once and in the lifetime. Abhi, you have not lived your whole life.
Yeah.
No,
And love can
nothing is promising till now.
Love can be unconditional. Even the love you have your parents, that's also.
Okay. Nishya says Logic Astra is missing in this movie. Dude, I can destroy every Marvel film for you, even your favorite one. So don't talk about logic, please.
Yeah.
It's every film has their own world of regulations, regulations, and enjoy
And cut them some slack. Yeah, it's the first time they're trying something like that. Just give them at least 2 more films to prove.
It's leading this nothing against Nishya, but I've seen these so many things that it feels like someone said it, and everyone's just copy pasting it. Oh, there's no logic. There's no logic. There's no logic.
Some people, even without watching the film, just to look cool, they will have these problems.
What about Ashwathama? Let's hope, man, it happens. Really looking forward to that movie. I actually have my own story of Ashwathama. It's very like what do you say? Dystopian future kind of a thing. So let's see.
You're already in Dharma's payroll. You can just contact them, right?
It's actually not Dharma's movie. What's Sia? That is the real movie. Forget about the Bakwas movies. Sorry, sir. Anup Singh. I'm sorry, sir. We love this Bakwas film. We love this world we can immersed in. I think we are facing too much. Yes, you like Sia. Watch realistic movies, but we
No,
want to
even
watch
even
other
if
films
you know,
also.
Sia could be a good movie too, but this is like
Yeah, of course. No worries. But today we are talking about this.
yeah.
There's no competition here. I mean, they
And
can't
we-
shoot both part 2, part 3 together and delay the release for sequel. They have to pay the interest, right? That's what he was saying.
That's what. Because like the reason why I asked was because a lot of the major blockbusters, when they reach to the last two parts, they shoot it at one go. Maybe it's economical to like shoot because of the sets and everything. Like I don't really know. That's why I just asked that question.
No, but then would you still release them 2 years apart, even if you shoot them together?
Usually when they do that, like it's just
It's
a
actually
1 year
better
gap.
because you want to give enough time between those films.
Mm.
You don't like Avengers did do come after one, but that hype is next level, right?
Yeah,
That even if it come 1 month later, it would have been okay.
yeah.
Like for example, just the point about releasing the sequel very close to the previous part. Like if you remember, Vasipur Part 2 came just a couple of months after first one.
But that
And
was
Yeah.
one
that-
film, right?
That was one
they just
film,
broke
but they
it.
had
It was
to-
supposed to be one film only, right?
No, I know
Yeah.
it was, but the smaller gap sort of backfired because second part was actually a very good film, but it didn't do as well on box office as part one did, right?
People hadn't seen
So,
first one, yeah.
Yeah, people should have been given a little longer buffer period, grasp
I
the
think
first
that's what happened with Bahubali 1 and KGF 1, right? That not that many people watched in theaters. When it came on
Yeah.
OTT, both were hit and people couldn't
True,
wait
true.
for when part 2 comes. And I
Like,
hope, Brahmastra plays on that only.
Like shooting two parts together, it's something that usually happens very commonly in Hollywood. Like the last two Harry Potter movies were shot together and everything
Yeah.
like that. So that's something which I don't think we can adapt it yet. Maybe in Indian cinema.
See,
Bahubali-
even like Koi Mil Gaya and Krish came 2 years apart, but
Yeah.
then the next one came after 7 years.
Yeah.
So that was the
That was something else. They didn't have a story.
They didn't have the story. yet.
No, Bahubali.
I asked.
Bahubali
Yeah.
1 ends with a lot of sequences from part 2. That means they
Part
already
2,
shot those
yeah.
scenes, right?
They had shot.
So
that's what I was
basically, what they
asking, yeah.
shot for Bahubali 2 after the release was the whole ending climax.
that's like Janagana Mana. You know how they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So
Uh,
I mean, I think there is assessments like you can. The reason why I asked this was because the story was set. The story was set for the next two movies. As I asked, would you prefer? Obviously, there's a lot of economics involved
Would,
for them.
do you guys think would there be any comparisons between Minnal Gurli and this one?
No.
oh.
No, अभी तक तो नहीं आया कुछ.
Because
So, I
both,
don't think so.
both are like superhero origin films, and going forward, we will have a part 2 of both. So
I don't want this to turn into superhero genre. Like, I don't want him like he has superpowers, so he's going saving people. Like, I don't want that.
This is me more of a fantasy thing.
Yeah, fantasy
Like,
adventure.
Yeah.
Like I can
Not
see
a-
this like a Harry Potter-ish, like fantasy
Yeah.
world, like something equivalent to that. And Minnal Murli has more of the superhero genre. Like,
Vivek says the movie was very close to entertainment perfection, but then this only comes to mind after you read other people reviews. Once you are in theaters, you feel proud and accept minor defects. Yes, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Back to the
I mean,
Future
we spent
suffered
the
the
1
same.
hour. What?
Back to the Future suffered the same. Matrix suffered the same back to back and failed.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
No. Wait. Back to the Future didn't fail.
No, Back to the
Back to the Future
Future
was a super-
2 and 3 were shot together.
3. Yeah, but it didn't fail, right?
I don't know. He's
They
saying.
were
I have
super
no
hit,
idea.
Come on.
No, they did not fail.
Matrix, I know
Yeah.
it was not reviewed well.
Back to the
That's
Future
true.
third is like the lowest rated among the
Yeah.
three,
That's
just like
true.
Godfather.
After
But
second, I
those
got
movies
tired.
did work.
Back to Future second
Yeah.
only just
Part
repetitive
three
of the
stories
same
also
plot.
is not
I just got
something you want
tired
to
and
watch.
I didn't even care about the third one after that.
But Harry Potter last two were like massive
Yeah.
success. Both of them
Janagana Mana
almost
sequels. Okay, Ravan sucks. Krish 3 sucks. Shamshira sucks. Thugs of Hindustan sucks. Brahmastra sucks. I think I missed some more. Ravan, I felt
I think you also do that only.
Ravan is
Krish 2,
fine,
3
I
both
think.
sucked. Okay.
Krish 2. Okay, Krish 2 is
See, I
getting
think
Krish.
VV
Krish,
official.
Krish
Okay.
one.
I just read the name of the person and I know this person. He just has negative things to say. Let's move on.
But he still subscribed to a channel,
Uh,
right?
I have no idea. These defects too maybe are defects for now, but who knows, other parts connected and make it all logical.
Maybe.
See, my thing is that, as a one movie, everything should make sense in that movie at least.
It should stand on
Even
its
if
own.
it's, yeah. it should stand
And
on its
as
own.
we discussed before, they can't resurrect the organic nature of their love story because
Unless there's like a love astra, which Alia used on Ranbir, and that's why it all happened. Like,
Oh, that'll be like some
Uh,
wild twist.
ब्रह्मास्त्र ने बॉलीवुड के लिए शायद एक बड़ा रास्ता खोल दिया है. अभी मूवीज मेकर के ऊपर था इस यूनिवर्स को किस तरह से आगे ले जाएं. बहुत सारी मूवीज बन सकती हैं इस पे. अब they can create their own. This said, right, Astra was film. That means they
Yeah.
have a big ideas of.
Yeah, I thought that was very bold.
And
Like
dude,
this
that
over the
like a
body,
whole
Astra
logo.
was-
That
yeah,
the character just
logo.
puts like this, and
Yeah.
and the zooms out and all.
I was
Do
like,
you-
oh, okay.
do you guys think this film can still do the same sort of box office business for the next 2 weeks as well before Vikram Vedha and PS1 comes?
See, depends on this weekend. How does it do?
Yeah.
If it does like in 20 plus, 25 plus in the weekends, then I think it can go till next week. There are a lot of releases next week, but not that big that Brahmastra will be out.
Yeah, that's
And
why
I
I'm
think
saying 2
Brahmastra will
weeks.
play even after PS1 and all out, because
Vikram
they'll give
Vedha,
it 2-3 shows because it's bringing so many people. But after
No,
that, it'll die.
but on 30th, like Vikram Vedha and PS1 are both coming together. So that's why I'm giving these 2 weeks.
No,
because
but I
after
think-
that, I don't.
Lal Singh Chadda was playing near me even last week until Brahmastra came
No,
out.
that's because Brahmastra was the lone wolf, right?
Yeah.
Now 2 big wolves are coming together.
No, one show they keep because they feel like, if we give more choice as a theater, like at least in the north.
लगी रहेगी.
लगी
but
रहेगी, but
for them to cash in these
yeah.
2 weeks.
and actually good, because I don't think any other film has got that much area to breathe.
Yeah.
And it was surprising that it was #1 film around the globe
Acha,
because there was
this-
no release.
This 23rd September, that's $75 will benefit them more.
No,
More people
No.
will go.
it only benefit. It will only make people to come
Yeah.
because the money will.
Yeah.
It will like if a 300 rupee ticket, you're giving 75. कितना theater को जाएगा, कितना film को जाएगा, it's not gonna change.
No, but then
anything.
अगर
the footfalls will be more. The footfalls.
वही
will
मैं
be
कह
more.
रहा हूँ कि अगर आप proportion वैसे देखोगे कि if for example if this weekend is like 40 to 50% occupancy, and because of that 75, I think the Friday shows are going like 100% because of that, right? So the proportion wise, like it might benefit, or I don't know, or might benefit Sia more or any smaller film coming out that day.
But Sia needs to be in theaters till next week.
Yeah.
FYI, Brahmastra is a chosen one movie. Minal Murli is an accidental superhero film. Yeah, that's true. In a way, you can also call that a chosen one because my only thing with that film was that father thing at the end, it was never established that well.
Dude, compared to this, like, dude.
I'm not comparing. Not comparing.
No, I'm just saying the story, like,
They can learn
It's
screenwriting
much-
from Minal Murli, catered for family audiences without dumbing down there. Dude, that's Malayalam cinema, yaar. Please. There's
yeah,
no
much more advanced,
competition.
guys.
Do you think there will be
Watch Nona's channel to understand Malayalam cinema.
Do you think there will be battle with gods or gods opposites for the power of Brahmastra, or even bigger powers on Earth? Nah, I don't think they want to go into that god thing. They just have to remove
Yeah,
themselves from there.
they don't want to invite more controversy.
I heard theories that
Yeah.
maybe after the 3 parts are over, the next thing is that what if aliens want to take the power of Brahmastra, because the way the Brahmastra
Oh.
joined, right, the whole universe
Yeah.
like woke up to a power, so that will attract
Dude, that's the Jadoo crossover.
the Animo says yes, extra. Animexo, extraterrestrial also. Yeah. What do you call someone who call other having different views as negative? Call them intolerant, right? And these fellas shamelessly accept subscription from people they are putting down and abusing. Did I assume abuse anyone? I literally said the person's name. I said I'm nothing against you, but this is a thing that happens on the internet. Just people just want to believe what they've read and not even watch a film. If
And-
you're
and,
not, then why you're feeling it if it's not meant for you?
And we joked about the subscription thing. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you don't subscribe, that's fine. Well,
Yeah, if you don't relate to what we are saying, that yeah, you can unsubscribe.
You can even unsubscribe. You know, one less subscriber won't make a hell lot of a difference.
No, just kidding. In next parts, I want answers for why and how Dev chose Junoon for the mission, and SRK and Nagarjo characters were given their parts of Brahmastra by only them. Yeah, possibly.
That's very interesting because if Alia's character is actually negative, I wonder if Mauni's character was just a decoy. And there's some.
For me, Moni's character was basically Steppenwolf working for Darkseid.
Darkseid.
That similar vibe. And if Dark,
But she was trying to. But I think she was trying to be a lot of like Loki. Like she wanted to. I think she
same. Loki
feels-
for Thanos. Like.
but I loved how
Yeah, she
respectful
feels
she
like-
was. Okay, everyone should like Namaste. Nice to meet
Artist
you.
G and all that.
At Scientist जी नमस्ते. मिलके
Artist
अच्छा
G,
लगा.
कैसे हो आप?
गुरुजी.
Sir, autograph दे दो please, sir.
How wasted was Dimple Kapadia, by the way? I mean, just.
I felt that maybe they'll explore her later in the films, but
In the next few parts.
yeah. And also, one more thing I realized in the second viewing, I realized at the end, right, they are not actually fighting. When they are disbanding the Brahmanch, they're like, take all this info, whatever we have, just go away. They were not planning to fight. They were going to leave, but I don't know why Ranbir's like, I'll show you my powers. Come.
Oh, it was so weird.
And the dialogue was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
The dialogue was really funny that Alia asked him that I've heard कि तुम्हें कोई बटन लगता है चालू होने के लिए. That was funny.
so-
That was funny. That was funny.
That was full adult humor.
Yeah, full
That
on.
was not
That was
a-
full on
a
adult
kid
joke.
movie scene.
तुम्हें
नहीं,
ऑन होने
it
के
was
लिए
like, मुझे
तुम्हें बटन
मुझे
लगता
उस
है
बंदी
ऑन
ने
होने के
बताया
लिए.
मुझे उस बंदी ने बताया कि तुझे बटन लगता ऑन करने के लिए तो
And
मैं
then
भी
they
ऑन करूं क्या
then they kiss.
हाँ
That's a good
उस
one.
बंदी ने बताया as in like you are a playboy in this universe as well.
So, guys, it's 12:30. I still didn't have my dinner.
Oh man,
I
why?
didn't know कि I didn't know कि
अरे
इतनी
यार.
लंबी चलेगी. पहले 10 बजे का टाइम था ना. फिर I
sorry
thought
for
11
that.
साढ़े 11. But anyway, before I leave, just a little anecdote from my experience working on the audio. So, we worked on the score for around 10 days, like as the choir for Pritham. So, what used to happen was they used to record us, our Indian choir separately, and then they used to record the Western choir separately. And then later on, the feedback came that, both the choirs need to be recorded together.
Synced for syncing up, yeah.
For syncing and to have a more grander sound.
Experience,
So then, on one mic, like there were 4 people on one mic and 6 mics were put on. And then the next feedback came was that for the outdoor scenes, like, for that Brahmanch group, that whole, the gate scene. So whatever scenes were outdoor, the score was not sounding grand and ambient enough. So until then, we were recording like in a smaller space, and after that, we were taken to Yashraj studio. So that is like the biggest studio in India, like this space-wise. It has a lot of open spaces. Like the ceiling is really high.
Okay.
So then we were recorded in that big arena, and that's when the whole ambience, sort of the natural reverb came in, and for all the scenes that really required that sort of grandness, then we added more layers. We kept adding layers and layers and layers to them, so that's how it's sounds so grand. Like until, and this I'm talking like last week of August. So film came on 9 September, and until the very end, they were still working on how to perfect it even more. So probably that's why music is one of the USPs.
No, makes sense now.
I mean, like it's something that people would just dismiss it very quickly. They would just
They
listen
not
to
even
it. They would
think
just
about
yeah.
these things,
But
No,
it
I
is-
think people will accept it more in the second and third part also, because as I mentioned, the VFX looks better after only with the music and everything.
music, yeah.
And in the part 2, you would not be surprised much with the VFX because you have already seen that. For the first time, you have seen that. I hope they talk about the music more in the part 2 and part 3.
No, but I think it was very fascinating to hear you go like step by step.
Yeah.
How like you guys
And
had to like
so much
go
thought
to a
given
different
to even
studio
the
and stuff. Yeah.
the ambience should
Yeah.
be there when it's
scenes,
outside,
Yeah.
And I
That's
don't
amazing.
get this
Volume of it,
criticism
yeah.
that without the music the film is not working. I'm like, music is part of the film. It is supposed to work together, not individually.
It's supposed to
Yeah,
work
some people
together.
like watch this movie without sound, it will work. Like, great, but that doesn't mean the film is better than anything else. Other films that without sound also
No,
it
it's
works.
like a dish without seasoning.
Yeah.
That's what if you have a movie like without
it's
music.
like ingredient of the film. The visual is
Yeah.
supposed to work with the music.
True.
And again, Keshav, thanks man for coming. And you should definitely do a session like your experience of working with Brahmastra. I think a lot of insights will be there.
I'll show you something very interesting. So these were the lyrics that we used to get. Like you can see,
Oh.
Brahmastra ka dusra hissa. So these were the Sanskrit chants that we used to get. And
That's
there are.
amazing.
Let me show you a couple of more.
Can you add us also in that WhatsApp group or?
We will be silent
Observers.
Keshav added these unknown numbers. 3, 4.
Freedom was like, who are these people?
Do you see?
Hopefully the chat can also see.
Oh wow. Zor chases Isha.
Zor
No
chases
escape.
Isha.
Oh, this is cool.
Nice. This is cool.
This is amazing, man.
Do you have
Behind the
that?
scenes.
Do you have that music for the Moni and SRK scene?
No. They of
When
course
they
they
are-
don't give us anything like that.
Okay.
We'll have to download it directly from the group.
Hopefully it's not like something wrong, huh? You showing us this? It's cool,
No,
right?
no.
It's just-
Abhi, it has come out, no?
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Shiva versus Avatar. Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
This is what scene? Shiva versus Avatar? The car chase?
The
Yes.
second part of the car chase.
Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
interval scene?
Just
Yeah.
before. No, I think the car chase.
Kache's was before the
This is
intro,
it.
right?
No, interval
No,
as
car
in
chase
very
and then there's an
and-
interval block.
Ah,
The
this
interval
is-
block is
Again. Yeah, that's true.
main
मैं
Varanasi
वाराणसी
जा
जा
रहे
रहा
हैं.
हूँ.
Wow, man, so much goes behind.
Yeah.
ये one dialogue. You're seeing this chat. This is the amount of work that goes behind, and we just dismiss a film because someone said it's not logical.
Or someone said just boycott it because gods were hurt.
Good to listen to such logical podcasts with constructive criticism. Hope we as a country really become mature. It's high time now. Our people talk total shit, man. It's too embarrassing on social media. Zack Snyder's blueprint.
Yes.
Naam, little up,
Could you
little up,
wait till
little up.
above?
Take it back. Take it
No,
back.
like go back.
Slightly back.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I think
Nandi
that's
Astra
good.
charge. Oh,
The charge.
Aramba, yes.
Oh my god, this was so good.
I love that scene, when he falls, like he pushes it and both things fall
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, that part is better.
And
No, I am from
this is the group that we have.
Brahmastra Choir. Oh.
Brahmastra choir.
Hopefully no numbers
I
are
was
hidden.
right.
So we have scope. There is scope for the three of us.
Yeah.
There is scope. I saw.
It was 11 people. It could be
Add more
14.
members.
It could be
No.
14.
There are
25.
25.
Oh, 25. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
So
25.
28.
28 looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
28 looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for having me. Look forward to more such interactions.
No,
And
man, it was
if you
great
guys
having
have,
you.
if you guys have time later, we can do this on my channel as well. Let me know.
Sure.
And people watching, please subscribe to this channel and my channel as well. I make music full time, so maybe Nona can put that link as well.
Sure. It's in the description, guys. You can check it out.
That's the All Things Cinema you put, right?
Yeah, I'll put Keshav also.
The music channel is different. But thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
It's great having you.
So, yeah, man.
Always.
Thank you, Keshav.
Thanks for having
It was great having you. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, let's just quickly go to the chat and wrap it up. It's already 12:30 now. But tomorrow is Sunday, actually, so for us. It's Saturday
I
हमें
night.
तो घूमना फिरना है. I want to go.
I want to go to church.
Okay, thank you, Vivek Tripathi, for that lovely message. We'll be doing more such in the future. Suresh Kumar, and it shows that 3 fellas are having only 2-digit watching. Don't know why YouTube got me here, and 2-digit likes. The 4 wolves are praising movies from Bollywood. Criminal wolves. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I don't mind two number watching, two not like. It's okay. I'm happy. Someone took name of Zach. Tanmay is Avokan.
Yes.
Every single Astra can be made into a separate movie with its own story and journey with the character who holds it with Astraverse. Maybe not every Astra, but maybe we can have a show also on
It could
Disney
be
Plus.
like a Netflix
No,
Netflix
Disney.
show
It's
or
not
something
Disney
like
thing,
that.
right? Star.
Sorry. Hotstar,
Uh,
Hotstar.
Junoon is very sanskari. Yes. Full album कब आएगी यार? He left. I think he said 5th October, right?
5th October, he said the songs would be released,
yeah.
but the music, BGM, he's not sure.
Muthu Rangam says, "Good job, guys. Hope you do more such discussions on the are planned. More such discussions are planned. Hopefully, we'll plan more. If you're liking this, thank you. Subscribe, and we'll be doing more stuff. I was listening to Kesaria. Okay, coincidence. Haha, wow, Bollywood arrogant attitude. Oh, you are always right. I will do what I want. You subscribe if you want or leave. Okay, attitude. Buddy,
No,
have
it's not even
fun
an
in your life.
attitude.
David.
No, it's not an attitude. That is. If
That
you
is a
unsubscribe,
fact.
we can't do anything.
You can come to your house like, don't do that. Please subscribe. Come on, please. Whatever said or done, Bollywood need to get good writers and collaboration must happen. It can bring change.
No, I agree.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे लोगों का काम है कहना. I love this name, man. When Rajma met rice. What an amazing
She is
name.
Anshika, the one who came starting me.
Shauryam Veram. Okay, I love the O attitude so much. Gonna use it going forward. I love the O attitude. I don't know what that means. Ankush Sharma, sorry. Next time you should include someone who has different opinion than yours. Discussion is one-sided. I don't think so. In the Sahil didn't like the movie. Like he was like, see, the basic thing is that we as a group, right? We have a collective thinking that we are very constructive in our minds, not destructive.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. It's not like I purposely choose people like that. We want things to happen, not destroy them. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing against people like they're rant channels, they're cinema scenes who just find mistakes and all. Want to be a filmmaker. I studied filmmaking. I know what goes behind. All these people know. They appreciate that effort. We want good things to happen and criticize when things are not good.
Yeah.
But our end goal is to good things to happen, not just
Like we
destroy
go
it,
into-
end everything. That's not our mindset. So if you think I should have brought someone who said this movie sucks and horrible movie, this is not about that, right?
No, and I think we go into each movie wanting to like it and wanting to love it. I think that's how it's always.
You see our
is,
previous,
like,
we have talked about Snyder movies. We have talked about a lot of DC films, Marvel films.
just Snyder movies, you see how much debate has happened. Like
we
it has
fight,
gone for hours and
but
hours.
at the end, it's not like I want Snyder films to fail, I want DC films to fail. No, we all want it to be good, but we have our issues.
I want to also make one point. I generally want this, as I've mentioned, even if I'm criticizing this movie, I want people to go and watch this movie any day because this was a good experience for me as well. I have issues with it. That's why I'm criticizing with it. I'm criticizing the movie, and I will still go for part 2 and part 3, no matter how bad or how good the reviews are. In fact, I watched the movie from first day first show. I didn't even care about the reviews. I'm
He
someone
spent
who doesn't care about
$100.
reviews.
Come on,
Yeah,
it's not like if worth it or not. Second thing that you are willing to do that.
yeah. It's the secondary thing.
Yeah,
It's
you're
actually a
willing to
secondary
do
thing.
that. Yeah.
But things exactly.
And
Like,
one more
nobody
thing,
forced me to spend $100. That's
Yeah.
the whole point. I gave it all on my own.
Come on,
No,
Nona,
one
you
more
hate
thing.
Snyder.
No, one more thing, I just want to say that in the start of the stream, all of us gave our opinions. It was varied opinions, different opinions. People were saying, we openly said what all things we didn't like. It was all there. Then we started discussing on things on how it would go on for part 2, how would things go like that, and then we took questions from the chat. So it's like that's how the discussion went. So if you maybe just watch the stream from the start.
It's like we are doing a 2-hour long stream because we care.
Yeah, that's
You
Yeah,
are
we care,
watching
we
the
care.
2-hour
We
long
do
stream
care.
because you care. And that's what it's all about. You care,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my friends canceled the plan, but yes, we.
Okay, confirmed. Karan Johar paid for Nora's Friday biryani. I had biryani today actually. This is the first time I
Same.
saw the
I
whole
want to have
stream.
biryani now.
Can have it, right?
Tejas
go now.
Valuru says this is the first time I saw the whole stream on live from you guys. Nice points being talked about. I was enjoyed throughout. Thank you so much. What was your BGM in the? What was your favorite BGM in the movie? Mine was the interval on Swayam Hi Tu. Arey yaar.
Oh yeah.
Swayam Hi
Same.
Tu Agni. I hated that it didn't come up again in the climax. I wish that it had come. And the other one is Shiva stops Brahmastra wave in climax. Yeah. The effects of that was really cool, you know.
Last, yeah, five
True,
was
true.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Include me next time. I'll give opinions according to the chat when Rajma met rice. You know, Sahil, when Rajma met rice.
Yeah, I know her. She's Anshika. She's the one who starting my idea. She said that
Yeah,
why,
got it,
how
got it.
come the audio, how
साहिल
come the
तेरा
music is
बनता
better
है
than
यार,
the
बोल
music?
लो, निकाल लो सब बाहर, नोना तुम्हारा बटन है. I to care a lot. Great. We can have her, man, next time.
Yeah, sure.
I'll
I
let you
will
know.
let her know.
Whatever
Yeah.
she's like, things she likes. We actually did one Harry Potter also. We plan to do Lord of the Rings, Dark Knight trilogy. We do She-Hulk every week, guys. House of the Dragon every week. So, you know, we do all these things on the channel. So if you enjoy this, if you want to hang out with us, we want to create that vibe that you are hanging out with us. That's it. You know, we don't have like million subscribers. We don't, and any of us have like big YouTube, channels and all. It's just if you enjoy, have fun with us, just interact with us, and that's great.
All of us are feeding on Nona's YouTube channel. Like.
मुझे भी लेना साहिल, अंकुर शर्मा.
हाँ यार,
All right, we have so many
तुम्हारे
requests now.
महान लोग.
But anything parting thoughts on the film?
Parting thoughts.
Want to watch
I'm
again?
actually
Theater again?
really glad. I don't know about theater again, but I'm
75
really
rupees.
glad we.
In the chat,
Yeah, maybe
you guys will
75
go watch
rupees.
the film again? Yeah, you
Put a
guys
poll.
will. Yeah, I can put a poll. You tell me.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad we had this discussion because there were many points that again came up and it made me think about the movie again. But I don't know. But I want to watch it again for the music because of Keshav said about all the efforts that actually went into, and which I loved the music, BGM, everything, even in the
Keshav
first
in the chat
time
with
when
the
I
dinner.
watched it. So
No,
I
he
want
is.
to watch it. I want to watch it again just to like experience that music again. I think that was probably the best part of the movie. So maybe
I will
I'll
be going
consider
to, so I
something
know
like this.
I'll pay attention.
It'll depend on my work situation next week. But yeah, I'm really glad we had this discussion.
He's actually having Rajma and rice. Farhan is back, guys. I hope to find as much love in my life as the love was shown in this movie. Which means no love.
Yeah, Farhan, it's been a long time, right? Since
Yeah,
he's come
Farhan
on
is a
set.
long time.
Hope
I
you're
like
okay,
movies
man.
also joined. He said he's not well. Hopefully he gets well soon.
Oh, get well
Tanmay, 811 rupees refund, please. Just think, you invested in something. You invested in,
Yeah.
something, and it will pay back later, maybe with a good film in part 2. The thing is, like, yeah, I review films and all, right? My perspective of watching a film is like, I want to explore something new, discover something new, something good, and talk about it. My is not, to tell you go watch it film or not. It's not worth your money. I never do that. So I want every film to be good, but it's not every time good. Sometimes I don't even see an attempt to make a good film, and then I see so much attempt. Maybe it's not the best film, but I see the attempt, I see the effort put in. Even I feel like it should be awarded.
True.
Full jukebox by Dashera. I'm not sure if they release the scene through, cause okay, some of might use in part 2, part 3. All right then. Yeah, parting thoughts. I was saying.
I said my parting thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just happy with how the movie has been like doing well in the box office. I was a little scared because of Shamshera and Lachi Chadda. I was like scared that what if they fuck this up as well.
Yeah.
I'm not commenting on the quality of Lachi Chadda and Shamshera right now, but those movies, I believe, even if they were good, I think they wouldn't have the plan was to make sure that they don't work. And I hope that like even if this movie had so many flaws, probably equal to Shamshera and Lachi Chadda, people still went for the movie. It's it's earning well, and we will have a part 2 and part 3 hopefully. But yeah, as Manoj said, I'm glad we had this discussion as well. I think I kind of like got answers to a lot of questions I had from the movie. I like it a little better now from like before I started this call. but yeah, actually the experience was definitely great for me for the movie. It was just like some of the thoughts I had while coming back from the movie, and I realized that okay, it might not be that great of a movie as much I would have liked it to. So I have huge hopes again from part 2 and part 3, and mainly from the dialogues and the story.
Yeah. I think I've already said too much on the stream today. And we still have 40 people watching. We never get that much watching at 12:30,
Yes.
almost 1 a.m. in the night. So, well, guys, Nona doesn't deserve so much hate. Thank you, Tanmay.
Yeah, Tanmay.
Tanmay is always there.
Whoa,
So
everyone likes Rajma Chawal, can't resist. Bro, how was the song Kesariya? I think even when I heard the lyrics, I'm like, nice song, love the story. I'm like, and then I also saw the memes and everything, and then as I heard it more, it's all okay, it was fine.
As you heard it more, you didn't notice it that much.
Yeah, it
That's
didn't
what I
stand
heard,
out that much.
Yeah, that much. Yeah.
Farhan, yes, long time no see. I've watched it thrice. एक दो बार और देखूंगी. This is not something we can enjoy at home. Yep. That's why I want my to take my parents also this next Friday. Let's see.
I'm very curious to know what your parents think of the film.
Today I show them
No, because-
No Way Home, na?
Yeah.
That was the stream got delayed, guys.
No, because
Oh.
So I'm not so
माफ किया,
My-
माफ है मेरे तो.
my plan was to show all the Spider-Man films before Amazing
but that
Spider-Man,
didn't
everything, and then also, but it was not possible.
Not worth
He'll
it,
get
yeah.
delay and all of not even worth.
I showed my sister 7 movies before No Way Home.
See,
Oh
sister,
my
right?
God.
Sister, you can do, not your parents.
Yeah. That's true.
And
yeah.
I could show him MCU because of COVID, because he was home.
Mhm.
There was nothing to do, so I could show him all these films, one by one.
Right.
So now at least he has a hang over it. So I like, okay, man. Anyways, I was showing him Thor, Love and Thunder. 30 minutes into it, he's also like, what is this? I don't like it. I'm like, okay, this film is so bad, let's stop it. Then I said, let's watch Spider-Man. I'm like, okay. We started yesterday when he had to stop. I think he got a call. Then we slept. And today I showed him the second half. And I was like, if I delay the stream, I could, watch the whole film with him, like the ending half. And, what I really enjoyed, and I was so happy to see that reaction from him. I showed him the first Tobey Maguire film.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So when Andrew showed, nothing happened. My mother's like,
Nah, yeah.
Arey, this is not the other art Spider-Man. Who is this? I'm like, no, it's from older films. And then Toby showed up. And my mother's like, oh, I know him. And my father's like, oh, ye kahan se
She
aaya?
was just
And I was like,
just
yes,
like the-
yes,
the
you guys
mother
are
of Ned.
getting it, the hype.
Nice.
That was really fun,
He was
man.
like
Like
grandmother
their
of Ned.
reaction is like, priceless. And my mother's like, because it used to come on TV, right? That Spider-Man movies. So she
Yeah,
recognized, that's the one. And my father's like, "Arey, ye aa gaya." I go, "Yes, aa gaya." That was so fun, man.
That was good.
I enjoyed it. Ending, dude, the film is so good. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I remember I had so many issues with the film, but the more I've seen it in theaters, the ultimate cut also, the extended cut, I enjoyed it more.
Oh, nice.
Today I saw it again. I enjoyed it way more, like the emotions.
So,
Is it
everything.
worth going? Should I go for the extended
Yeah,
cut?
it's not anything totally different, but the extra scenes, like you get more college stuff, like him going through college. There's like a whole segment of where that girl, right, who take news reporter girl in
Betty,
the
yeah.
college, Betty, she takes interviews
Betty,
of all
Betty.
these people, like what do you think about
Okay.
Spider-Man, and she takes two of Tom Holland also and everyone. There's the next one scene, extra scene of few seconds of Matt Murdock with he's sitting with when all of them are entering the house, the villains.
Yeah.
Happy seeing that live on his phone, and Matt Murdock is
Okay.
with him, and he's like, I can see you sweating, he says.
That's
And
But will they release that in digital or is it only
I
a
don't think
theater?
so. Maybe they do. It's not like see, I went with Nolan, so I've had someone to fun. Or that the few more
Yeah.
extra jokes. Some places extra. There's extra scene with the three Spider-Mans. There's a lot more extra stuff they're talking about.
That I'm interested.
But there's
Why didn't Nolan come today?
I think his internet died. Also, the post-credit scene is different.
Internet died.
Instead of Doctor Strange, right, trailer, the
Yeah.
post-credit scene is actually showing, like it's the end of the year, right? So again, Betty is doing that end of the year, and we are seeing photos of the year. So everywhere
Oh, that's
ways Peter should be there, right? It's either cut off the picture, or there's some
Oh, okay.
obstacle in front of his face, so you cannot see him. So that's their answer.
Nice. That
answer
solves
to-
so
yeah.
much.
Everyone was saying that actually solved everything. like how it works and how people forget about it.
Why did they cut that though? That would have been.
They showed the
good, right,
trailer
if
for
they-
Doctor Strange. Like, I don't know.
They could have had
I
that.
was
also.
so like,
Good-
please don't show Venom. I don't care Venom. They showed Venom. Like, okay. How was Sonic the Hedgehog? I have not seen the second one.
Even I didn't. I didn't see the first one.
Love and Thunder or Brahmastra? Brahmastra anyway.
I've not even
Uh,
watched the war yet.
You can wait for the when it comes out. It's not like worth going in theater, especially kind of thing. हाँ मैं तो खो जाती हूँ और हर बार अस्त्रवर्ष में. ओके. और जो बोल रहे थे ही वॉज बायस्ड, आप अपने घर में मेहमान को बुला के बेइज्जती करते उस माइंड गाइस.
Can we appreciate my friend's joke also?
आई डिडंट गेट द जोक.
The PR one.
Oh, Love and Thunder God. PR1?
Brahmastra is love, na? So love and Brahmastra, thunder and Brahmastra.
Oh.
I
And you
wish
know what
I
else is
wish
love?
you hadn't
Love
said
is a dagger.
it's a
Love is a dagger.
I wish you hadn't said it's a joke. That was a great thing as a question. I took as a question and I said Brahmastra.
No.
I know it's too early, but can you guess the title of part 3? People are saying conclusion. I am saying Parvati or
Nah.
Isha.
No,
Ah,
it's
yeah,
actually a
it will
question
be a
only, but I'm
character.
just making a joke of it. It's actually a question
अरे
only, but I'm
TR
making a
क्यों
joke out of
खींच
it.
रहा है यार? हो गया ना, चल जाने दे उसको.
There was again twist, and then you're like making an Abbas Mustan scene here.
मेरा parting thoughts है ऊपर. Oh, we missed it. Sorry. My parting thoughts. Keshav says the future of Brahmastra depends on us.
He messaged me that it was not a question. It was not a joke. It's a question only.
फिर हो गई ना. Okay. Keshav says the future of Brahmastra depends on us, the cinema lovers and cinema goers. Support करो. Fail या succeed होना का एक fair मौका दो. कम से कम जैसे मार्वल को मिला होगा पहले. Yeah. All right. Part 3. Mohan. Isha होगा 100%. Prequel one Vanrasta. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. It's too late now. I am tired. Everyone is tired. Thank you guys for joining, for your time. All the guests, Abhineet, Harneet also joined. Keshav, all of you, thanks for joining.
Harneet gave a cameo.
Harneet
is our SRK.
just want to say
Harneet
something.
is our SRK.
Harneet is Sharukh Khan.
Harneet is our SRK.
Just want to say, Varun.
The Brahmastra.
Varun is actually the plot of Isha we didn't get to see in part 1. So you didn't get to see Varun today. And Marvel ka dalla. Tu jaave, Marvel kuch nahi hai. Alright guys, next we'll meet for House of Dragon live watch along. So if you're into that, do join us there. Subscribe to the channel, check out other people, everything in the description. And yeah man, see ya, love. Spread love. Love is greater than
Spread Brahmastra.
Brahmastra also. So do that. See ya, keep geeking out.
Bye guys.